to. Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clipping. That's it. That's it.
That recon dart gonna spot out 2 of them. Gonna grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that,
But they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission in which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbellton.
now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We already...
Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences.
The most common angles that the operator plays. This is like second to only B-Long. Fight is likely having a leg shot, but they're too slow! Hariri lands a perfect headshot.
Laying in the damage zone and them on out. Going into A4, look at Sage. Laying in the middle.
Sage?
Laying in the damage. Going in revenge for their honey.
No way!
Play taller. Sage Wabe gets the quadra kill. That was
It kind of sounds fun, so I'll give it a chance. And then we ended up playing in high school the next 2 years together. And we've been playing ever since. So he kind of taught me the game. We've been playing on a team since then, and then now we're in college, so we can't play together anymore.
We do love all the players, even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
Body Pluto looking for the plank. Trickster waiting, maybe looking for the steal. Pluto has his engaged. The scatter of the week comes through. Watch Levi though. Levi hasn't been touched just yet, but the damage is coming through. The melt line gets melted. Jinkwall on a killing spree, and all of Ottawa goes down.
Why? Those don't go in. It goes off the sidebar.
Starting to come out. The flash is popped. The Rolling Thunder is utilized to perfection. And now it's all on Teeson. But Teeson just keeps on going.
This fall, we are proud to bring you Valorant and Super Smash Bros. Valorant will be 8 teams, single round robin with a double elimination playoff. Smash will be 6 teams, double round robin with a 4-team single elimination playoff. Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fall 2023 MEC. I'm Ashgon, joined by the wonderful Tucker, and today we got 2 awesome teams, Cleveland State versus Clark University. This is going to be an awesome best of 3 that we are looking at from the lower bracket. These teams are fighting their way upwards, trying to get their way to the grand finals, and Tucker, it's not just these 2. We're going to have another set of casters later on today, but for our series, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to, well, first of all, a good match. We're in the lower bracket quarterfinals. Things are starting to get really, really interesting. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of streams ago, Briarcliff took the quote-unquote upset over Clark University in a 2-1 nail-biter of a matchup, which put them into the upper finals. One more match, and they are going to be in the grand finals. Unfortunately for them, they got to go through the Polar Bears, ONU, the top dogs of the top pack throughout the entire MEC season. And surprisingly, sending Clark down a little early. They have a tough task in the CSU Vikings, but of course, Clark has been the second to top dog for a long, long time. So they're slanted to win this game, but the Vikings are absolutely determined.
Well, let's bring it right on back over to tonight's series, and let's go ahead and take a look at these rosters, Tucker, just to see who's playing today. And Cleveland State, they're going to be rocking Fode, Revi, Marvel, Lime, and Sully. And then in the other side, of course, we have Soup, Zerona, Fade, Ain, and Kang. So we are familiar with these players. We know who to look out for. On the CSU side, I'm looking at Revi and Marvel. When it comes to the people who are going to be throwing out utility. And Sully has made a name for themselves as well. But when it comes to CU, well, you can't really count out any of the players. Not that I was counting out anyone on CSU. You know, respect to all the players. But Zerona and Kang come to note for me. I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table today. Because again, it is a lower bracket. You don't get other chances after this series. Once you're done, it is over. And
little sneak peek at the Friday play of the day. But we're back at the rosters, and like you said, these 10 players are incredibly phenomenal. That play of the day was Soup. So yeah, you might have seen them before. They're a good player. They make some crazy plays. They are ultimately the flashiest of the bunch of the CU side. And the maps today are going to be a little bit interesting. We don't just get the complete boring bunch. We got a couple of other maps loaded in. I know the first map's going to be Lotus. Let's send it up on screen. Let's see where we're going, Ashcon. Why don't we? We get Breeze, which is one we don't get to see too much of. It's Lotus to send Breeze. Haven's completely gone. We don't get a Haven.
I mean, you know, Lotus and Haven, they're like cousins in spirit, right? They're related. They're the only 2-3 mapped sites, and I'm excited. I do wish we could see a little bit more Sunset, but we'll get there eventually. I think that when it comes to Lotus, you mentioned this last week, Tucker, and it's one of the most attacker-sided maps in the map pool, and you said it was the only attacker-sided map in the map pool, and you're correct. I'm looking at the data right now, and according to Run It Back, as of patch 7.08, I know it's patch 7.09, guys, but it's only been a few days. As of patch 7.08, Lotus is 54.5% in favor of the attackers, and it's the only one that favors the attackers, exactly like you said. So you're the man, you just know what you're talking about, Tucker.
And let's also talk about Ascent. We go straight from the most attacker side of map to the most defender side of map in the game statistically. I get my stats from a little bit of a different source, but I mean, it's still a very similar ending. You know, it's the right math problem and the right math answer, but you use the wrong method. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. And then we go to Breeze, a map we have not seen too much throughout the season, but I'm excited to see. It's very long range. We're going to see some crazy aim duels. You have to have your on-point aim with the Vandal or the Phantom or the Op if you choose to use it. If you want to succeed on this map, it's one of those maps where you truly need to have good aim. Like, you could have the best utility in the world, but if you don't have any aim to back it up, you're probably going to lose.
That is fair enough. And without further ado, Tucker, we're going to go ahead and get right into this first map of Lotus. And I'm looking forward to the comps that people are playing. Unlike Ascent, right, where the composition has been pretty much set in stone, Lotus has been a lot more experimental as the meta shifts and changes, and with the patch notes, which, speaking of, there have been some huge changes to some of our Sentinels, particularly Cypher.
Nearly everyone on the attackers are locked in, except for Fade just chilling out on that KJ. That is a pick I definitely like. We see the double controller, which has been a staple throughout the season here at MEC and here especially on Lotus, because, I mean, there's just so much space that needs to be blocked off. It's really difficult to play this map without a second controller. Viper is pretty much set in stone. If you're not playing Viper, you're pretty much throwing. But it's kind of been flip-flop between Astra and Omen being that second controller pick, with preferably, I like Astra a little more, but Omen is second to top dog. And as I say that, CSU, they only go with one controller.
Choose your agent.
Yeah, not having a wall smoker can be a bit difficult, but Omen has been the key that everyone settled on. I remember initially Viper was definitely a must-have, especially because teams like Fnatic were advocating for her so strongly. But now that teams want to fight for the A main space while on the defense, well, Paranoia is just the best piece of utility to do the job. I mean, soon, if teams begin to adopt ISO, I think his Q is going to be a bit more effective, but we'll see. And as the teams load in, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of this Breach. He's been kind of swaying back and forth when it comes to picks, Tucker. We've seen him come into the meta and then immediately shift out, and he hasn't seemingly found his spot in the way that every other initiator has at least had an entire act to sit in the spotlight.
You know, I just cannot stop thinking, how is this single controller composition going to affect Cleveland State's performance? That's really what I am trying to figure out, considering that there's been so many of these teams. I don't believe we have seen a single controller composition on Lotus just yet, and here comes the Vikings bringing it out in their last chance of the map, of the whole series, of the tournament. Of the series, I meant.
Oh man, it is chaos on B right now, Tucker, as we see fights breaking out. 2 are down, make it 3 for the side of the defense. Lime trying to fight for their life, but it's not going to work out for him. Sully, the last one in a 1v5, and this is a tough way to start the map, but on the bright side, it's also the start of the map.
Start of the match, start of the map. There's still a long way to go. It will be a flawless for Clark University, so I mean, hey, best case scenario right off the bat. And to be fair, that is expected. It's Lotus, it's attacker-sided, and it's the pistol round. They push and B. There's not really much that you can do to get them off of that site or keep them off of that site. If you wanted to try the retake, you could, but there was only one player alive, and that was the KJ. I feel like if you want the retake to become reality, you need a little bit more than just a KJ, but that's neither here nor there. First round goes to Clark University, and in comes the anti-eco, with CSU sticking with all pistols.
Yeah, and I mean, in their defense, you know, it is first round, so none of their agents are going to have the complete kit. This time around, maybe they can invest a little bit more, but this is a bold move to go B on your anti-eco when you know that you've won the first round. So I'm waiting to see how Clark University wants to navigate, and it is a feint. It is a fake. They're going to see through the door.
There it is. Only KJ is met up on it, and the Classic, it's good for a free gun, but there is so much more money involved in the Clark University push. Right-click Classic, able to grab one, but is immediately traded out by Soup. Down goes your Duelist, and it's a 4 versus 3 retake, favoring the attacker's side. Zerona makes it a bit harder for Cleveland State University, takes down the smoke. There goes one more, and one no more. Bites the dust. Ain has a headshot on their Sky counterpart.
Bomb grenade out.
Taking a look at the money, look at the credits, and Cleveland State, okay, they're buying up. They're going to have a couple of light shields, which is gonna hurt. You definitely, on a long-range map like this, you don't want to be vulnerable to a Phantom. So you got to take your time and, you know, save up the cash for those rounds. You got to keep them in mind. For now, though, it looks like the fight is going to be brought to the attackers by Cleveland State as well, using that gun advantage. And taking up all that space is definitely a good move.
Cleveland State wants to make this push as hard as possible for Clark University, playing a big, aggressive hold. Fortunately, they surrender over the B site, but thankfully for them, B site is the easiest of the bunch to retake. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off before Lime is able to get another one. Needs to use the blast pack to get away is Lime. The snake bite is simply a little too dangerous. Yet another shot from the Ghost of Kang gets a frag. Marvel can't land the shot on the crossing player. They run over to the A site. It's another one-man down scenario on Cleveland State, and both of the remaining players are lower than full. So this could be something that Clark University uses to their advantage. Unless Sully has a headshot, Kang trades it off though, but leaves Marvel in a very clutchable situation.
Oh, alarm bell goes off. Marvel walking out onto the site.
Watching here.
Needs to break that nano swarm when they can, but as soon as they move to turn to tree, fades into the picture, and that's going to be them. Marvel fading out.
What a bonus round. The anti-bonus round, ever common here in Valorant. I mean, on Lotus attack, it's pretty fair. There's just not much that you can do until you have a solidified attack, until you have a really solid idea, which Cleveland State, they had a foolproof plan on Lotus at the start of the season, and they've abandoned it. I mean, the first time they played on Lotus, they absolutely dominated. I think they lost maybe 2 rounds on defense, which is absolutely insane to think about. And they weren't going against a bad team. I believe it was a team like Miami, Oklahoma, or Miami, Ohio, excuse me. Sorry, it's the closer one. But timeout's called by Cleveland State. I think this is fair, maybe a little early, but in the terms of timeout, you can never be too safe.
I mean, it's definitely a shakeup, right? Over here in the MEC, we have seen a lot of 3-0s, I will say, but it's more than usual. We are not the norm. Our teams fight tooth and nail. So when you lose a round like that, you're expected to win, you're slated to win, and you're supposed to be setting the economy for the course of the half. Dropping that, you know, proves a threat to you, and you have to now recalibrate and readjust to the reality of your situation. And there are ultimates still on the table. There is that for Cleveland State. They just have to plan around them a little bit better. They're getting a lot of space towards the C site over at Mound, so I'm hoping that they could claim that orb for themselves.
Clark University don't have any ults. I believe they are close to a couple of them, but so far, nothing is online and at the ready. Looks to be another... Yeah, that door gets opened. Gotta be careful of this. Boombot comes out fully. Able to grab one. What's the advantage in Cleveland State's hands for now?
Lime satching out, taking a much more defensive position on the A site. As Sully peeks out to find one with that Sheriff. Could snowball that into a better weapon for themselves now. And Marvel on the flank, but That's going to be a release of pressure for Clark University. Their Killjoy is all the way in spawn, ready to catch some rotators. Can they hit the shots? Fade, landing one, and Fode now having to trade, but doesn't go for it. Has to break the turret. This is a pretty decent position for Clark University, Tucker.
Seeker's coming out as well. There might be a gun on the floor for Cleveland State, but there's still one without one. Flash comes out. It's still the headshot from Lime. Clark University, they might just mess around to lose this. Get ecoed. 3 versus 3. KJ and the Rays are still alive. The Skydog is able to find out Fade. Can't land the shot, though. It will be the head. Lime goes down. Revy picking out from the site. There's 2 players left. 1 versus 1. Drona just has to play this right. Head is not found. Caps it out. Headshot still not found. Fode needs to stick it. And that will be the round. What a clutch from Drona to keep Clark University perfect.
I'll tell you what, on top of it, puts that showstopper in their pocket. So they got the opportunity to keep things perfect even further into round 5 with the ultimate and break the economy for Cleveland, or for Clark once more. And Clark, they have one off. Kang close to that Viper's pit. Their approach
Cover going out.
Can be simple. They just gotta win these gunfights, and Soup runs up and gets there first.
Does not help that Cleveland State have no ultimates at the ready. A double kill with the showstopper doesn't help at all. What are you doing, Drona? Absolute insanity from the Clark University attack. They look like they pressure B, but they really pushed themselves onto the alpha site with a 2 versus 4 on this retake for Cleveland State needed. They got the guns. They have a little bit of utility in their pocket. If Sully wants to weigh up for that alarm bot and the turret, they can. But ultimately, for the retake, those are 2 of the most useless pieces of utility imaginable.
Last player standing.
Oh, Fade just walking slowly across. Drops Marvel. It's a lone Sully, and they've opted to save.
I think that's the right choice. I do not see a KJ clutching the 1 versus 4. If things get too nitty-gritty, Clark University still has that Viper pit in hand. It's better to just go for the exit frag, which unfortunately Sully is not able to get. The headshot of the sky is simply too small. Bomb goes off. That will be a 5-0 lead now for Clark University. And honestly, Ashka, I think Cleveland State might have called their timeout too early. They called it on a round where they had nothing to work with, and all of the ideas and steam that they built up from that timeout, maybe the motivational pep talk, was completely gone after they failed on the eco. So we got round 6 underhand. On the hand. 1 ult available for Cleveland State. It is the showstopper, which could theoretically get an ace, but I don't think Cleveland State is going to let themselves get all killed by the shame showstopper. And as I am speaking about it, in comes Soup with a headshot over the mound to completely eliminate any threat of a big rocket launcher. C-Site forfeited over to Clark University, as well as the lurk from Fade catching off the smoker.
Spike planted.
CU has complete sight over anything they want to without that omen.
Last player standing.
Oh! Unlucky timing there for Fode. And Sully, once again, we're seeing a whole lot of reruns throughout the MEC season, Tucker. That episode I saw before in round 1, and here it is, the replay on number 7. Or 6, I should say.
Numbers are hard, man.
Numbers are hard. That's why I do like a humanities major.
Exactly. So we got round 7 at the ready. Cleveland State has 4 out of the 5 ultimates online, with Fode's Seekers only 1 orb away. It would not surprise me if Cleveland State just fight tooth and nail for one of these ult orbs and then use all 5 of those ults at the same time to win this round. Because, I mean, You know, it's a very offensive-sided map, but when you have all 5 ultimates being unloaded at the same time, you're probably not going to win that round. That's why you don't get ultimates every single round.
I mean, maybe that would be a fun game mode. Who knows?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, let's get him talks to Riot. But right now, let's talk about how Fade has already picked off 1 and then goes for a second while Soup picks apart a third. So he misses the timing on the walkout from Tree, turns to Ain, and at least gets them. But this Viper breaking their ankles doesn't matter if you can't finish the job. And Sully says to Fade, I see you get 2 and I raise you 1 more. But Soup, partner in crime to Fade. This is going to close out round 7. Actually round 7 this time.
What an effort from Sully, though. A 1 versus 5 staring back at them, and they're able to grab 3 with ease. Fantastic stuff. Unfortunately for them, they simply don't have quite enough, which is unfortunate, but when you have the entire Clark University team staring down at you, it's very fair. And now we're in that situation that I was talking about might happen. 5 ultimates online at the ready for the Vikings if they choose to use them. I got a feeling they're all going to get popped at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, rounds are passing quickly, and with these ultimates going unused, I agree with you, Tucker, because at the end of the day, there's only going to be so many chances, and if we're going to keep letting these chances go, there's only going to be 1 moment in time left to have them be used, and C site's now locked down, completely clear. Cleveland State, they have the opportunity to retake with the Killjoy ult of their own, but Sully not quite in the best position to use it.
Advantage already for Clark University. As well, it's the Viper pick going up. Drona, 1, 2, 3! Catching out Revy, they had an easy kill, and now they're on for the ace! Drona, Vandal in hand, Soup gonna take it away. The headshot from behind on Sully ends that round out, but what in the world is Drona on for? 13-3, Ashcon!
Everyone talks about how there's a certain expectation of duelists, and I'll tell you what, the only expectation is for them to make space. Girona is doing that and more. 13-3 is nothing to scoff at, and I mean, popping heads left and right to boot. If you're talking about space, they're just not creating space on the site. They're going all the way into the enemy spawn. They said there's no room for Cleveland State to play in.
Out comes double ults. Rolling Thunder, Showstopper, getting brought out. Neither one of the ults are able to get the frag, but Marvel is. Headshot onto Drona, takes down the duelist. Drona has been a menace for Clark University. Really been the bane of Cleveland's existence, but now they're done. Cleveland State has an advantage that they might be able to take a round out of it, at least salvage a couple more frags, and maybe get the economy of Clark University in a bad spot. A headshot of Lime gets the Viper down as well, so that halves their smokes right there.
There goes the Seekers. Cleveland State needing that information on who, what, and where. And there goes the paint shells to create some spacing over in the default plant. A silent drop while Foe tries to fight, but Ain is not going to let it happen. Off the reload, Lime gets 2. Oh, it's actually Marvel who took out Soup from the angle. Nice little crossfire cooked up. It's a lone Killjoy. And now it's a Killjoy 1v1.
Push that turret out. Oh my! What a clutch! You know, Sully has been so close to getting these clutches for Cleveland State in the past. Now they finally got it, and it puts Clark University, for the first time this game, on the losing side of a round. It only took 8, but they have got it, and it took every ult on Cleveland State except the End of the Shadows, which is good that Cleveland State won a round, but at the same time, they needed 4 ultimates. And it was still a 1v1 at the end.
And I mean, I'll tell you what, though. I'll give Sully some credit, but also I have a bit of worry in that the timing there. I mean, you saw Fade get out of tree, and, you know, there was no sound cue for Sully to know, but you got to be aware of those timings and those possibilities. And speaking of possibilities, that angle has been known to be in favor of the attackers for quite a while now. So we got to see Cleveland State change up their hold on A. And it looks like the judge is not going to be helping them in iterating their defense in any way.
Drona almost gets caught. Blast packing up onto the drop. Clark University starting to try to sandwich in these last couple of retakers. Does not work out as well as they wanted it to. Fode starts to push out. Viper's Pit coming out on the side of Clark University. In comes the showstopper. Does not quite land. It could have been worse for Clark University, but it still keeps them away for just a little bit more time. A headshot from Fode comes out as well with a very dwindling round on the helm. Sully has to save yet again. Clark University only dropping 1 round so far this happened. They are at 9 with a possibility to go into the half with a 11-1 lead.
And it's interesting to see these huge gaps as well, because when we take a look at the regular season, Clark University was up 5-2, Cleveland State 4-3. And that's only a 2 placement differential, with both of these teams a very similar round record as well. 151 round wins to Clark and 152 round wins to Cleveland State. We're going knee deep into the A site, fighting for the space once again, and that's going to be Marvel doing their job. 3-3. They blinded. Oh, excuse me. They did not. They got their participation over on the B side.
Spike planted.
And as fast as it was a 3 versus 3, it's now a 3 versus 2. Clark University. And they still have the duelist alive, as well as the flash in the sky and the smoke, which is honestly worst case scenario for Cleveland State.
To dust.
Nice shot. 1 versus 2. Doable situation. Spike's already halfway gone. You don't have full health. Actually, you have 86 and no shield. They've got another headshot that puts them at a 3K. Jumping through the snake bite, they don't clear out the corner, and Kang punishes them. You have to clear out your corners, or else you're going to get shot down. And that's exactly what happened. We go to round 12.
And I'm just being informed as well that the last time these two teams went head-to-head in a best-of-3, they went 24-28 in terms of the round scoring. So with things a little bit closer, and Clark University having won, I'm wondering if Cleveland State can overcome whatever's going on with them. And I mean, there are 2 more maps left to go, potentially. At least 1, that's for sure. The approach here, an aggressive A. Reduce, reuse, recycle. No need to change up the strats if it's working. And Clark, go ahead and make light work of Lime and Revy.
Saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Clark University has no intent to. Marvel almost gets their head taken off. In the end, they're able to grab the frag, but not after Drona takes down the Sentinel. It's another shot from Stoop that lands. Another fight. The Omen takes out as well with a headshot to Fode. 3K to end out the round, and a little bit of tactical crouching over the corpse. A bit of BM, but you know, you're up 11-1. I feel like you can get away with it there. Which, by the way, 11-1. I feel like we need to talk about that a little more. This is a 2 seed versus a 4 seed. It's 11-1?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Tucker. I mean, that's why we were talking about, you know, the last records, because it doesn't make any sense, but it could just be that Lotus isn't Cleveland State's map, right? Again, the second newest, very experimental, comps constantly shifting. Pros don't even know what they want to do on this map. When it comes to collegiate teams, where that's their bread and butter, is just modeling after the tier 1 teams. You're kind of lost in the dark. You're left drowning in the waters. You know, Clark University has adapted, so kudos to them, but it's not easy. Not easy at all. Cleveland State pushing over towards C, immediately blocked off by smokes and mollies. And I like the quick pivot to make sure that they don't sit in one place for too long.
Spike down B.
All I'm going to say, Ashcon, Ohio Northern blew a 10-2 lead here on Lotus. That's all I'm saying. No more, no less. Spike goes down.
Not ready yet.
Clark University attempting out this retake. Kang gonna tap the bomb. Marvel, Shad shooting one target and then another before Drona's able to tag the other Rays and bring them down to death. Fade, it's shot,
Player standing.
trying to get the defuse. It's slowly going down. Drona has the defuse yet. Marvel swinging out, but it's too late. It's another jumping right click, and Clark University gets on match point.
And I'll tell you what, my classic has never done that. It's not that it doesn't do that,
Right?
it's that it's never done that.
Oh, match point, Clark University. It's the anti-eco as well. It's not like it's not even a bonus round for Cleveland State. They don't really have that much of a chance. They have 4 SMGs, a Guardian, and light shields for everyone. Clark University should be able to make quick work of this round unless Cleveland State gets a miracle from the Valorant gods. This match probably over soon. This map.
Well, if stunning your own teammate is an indicator of how the map is going, then it looks like it's not going too hot for Cleveland State as Soup draws first blood right quick, and Zerona goes for their 20th kill over in B main, now to 21. And they're just going to close out the round. They're going to keep going. 1, 2, 3 sprays with the Spectre. Go for the defuse, and that's going to be 13-1 here on Lotus' first map of the series.
Defenders win.
Unbelievable. Ashcon, this was a team that took the beating to everyone. Cleveland State is a team that no matter who they face, they always put up a good fight. Like, you could put them in front of Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern's not going to get away without a fight. They are going to be bloody. They are going to be bruised. They might win, but they are still going to have a bad time. And Clark University just came out and absolutely threw them in the trash can and slammed the lid into their head several times. It was brutal. Kudos to Clark University. But enough negative talk for Cleveland State. This is the best of 3. It's only one map. We go to Ascent, which is a map that everybody knows and loves. This is going to be their best chance to win it out, and they likely have a chance at sending it to map 3, which in their best is definitely expected and wanted. If you're not able to do that, then your series is over.
That is true. That is true. And I think that as we go to see whether or not how the rest of the series is going to play out, we will get right into it. But we're going to go ahead and pass it off to a short break, Tucker, because I'm ready to explore exactly what's going to be happening right when we come back.
opportunity. Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clip it. That's it. That's it. Hang on,
That recon dart gonna spot out 2 of them. Gonna grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that,
Done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission in which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbell.
now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We are...
Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences.
The most common angles that the operator plays. This is like second to only B long. Fight is likely having a leg shot, but they're too slow. Hariri lands a perfect headshot.
Laying in the damage zone and them on out. Going into A4, look at Sake. Laying in the move.
Sake?
Laying in the damage. Going in revenge for their honey.
No way!
Sake Wabe gets the quadra kill.
That was
It kind of sounds fun, so I'll give it a chance. And then we end up playing in high school the next 2 years together. We've been playing ever since. So he kind of taught me the game. We've been playing on a team since then, and then now we're in college, so we can't play together anymore.
We do love all the players Even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
Body
Soul.
Pluto looking for the plank. Trickster waiting, maybe looking for the steal. Pluto has his engage. The scatter of the weak comes through. Watch Levi though. Levi hasn't been touched just yet, but the damage is coming through. The melt line gets melted. Jinkwall on a killing spree, and all of Ottawa goes down.
Why? Those don't go in. It goes off the sidebar.
Starting to come out, the flash is popped, the rolling thunder is utilized to perfection, and now it's all on Teeson, but Teeson just keeps on going.
This fall, we are proud to bring you Valorant and Super Smash Bros. Valorant will be 8 teams, single round robin with a double elimination playoff. Smash will be 6 teams, double round robin with a 4-team single elimination playoff. Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MEC Fall 2023. Once again, I'm joined by Tucker, and we're moving in to map number 2.
Yes, we are. Map 1 was not the best we have seen the Vikings perform at. It was a 13-1 in favor of Clark University, but now we go to the tried and true, one of the quote-unquote boring maps in Valorant. It's Ascent, but everybody knows it, everybody loves it, and Cleveland State should have a bit of an easier time because the meta's tried and true, the compositions are tried and true, it's broken, it's busted, but it's home, everyone knows how to play it, so I'm expecting a little bit more competition this time.
Yeah, it is absolutely a lot more stable, and we were talking about how Lotus is very unstable. So when we talk compositions, Jet, KO, Sova, Omen, Killjoy, that is the bread and butter of pretty much every team. Doesn't matter what tier you're talking about, and we do have some rascals, some stragglers who try to do their own thing, but it doesn't really work out often. But what we have seen from the teams here in the MEC is double duelist, and that has been working for especially our top teams. So we'll see if they continue to stick to that trope of theirs, or if they're going to fall back towards the meta as we're going later and later into this bracket run, especially in the lower bracket.
Yeah, this is the last life for these teams. Let's not forget about that. Cleveland State, if they lose this next map, they're done. Clark University took map 1, and this is their last chance. Vikings need to win out.
Yep, and we'll check out how that's going to be working. Miami, Ohio versus Cornell in parallel to that. So by next week, we know who's going to be playing who. And then, of course, we have the grand finals occurring Saturday and Sunday of next weekend. So you folks definitely don't want to be missing that. But pulling it back to this week, we have to discover who is going to be making their merry way over to the LAN.
Oh, so we do. So it's Ascent, right? We said that this should help out Cleveland State a little bit, but we also need to talk about Clark University is one of the teams that has established themselves as one of the best teams in the series, or in the conference. Clark University, they were seeded second going into the playoffs, and they have pretty much stomped their way through everybody with a upset. They take an upset to Briar Cliff in the upper bracket, but now they're right back into that regular season and early playoff season form. So Ascent might be a little bit better for Cleveland State, but the question is, are they going to be able to stop the onslaught of Clark?
Well, Clark is definitely a strong team, and we were talking about their regular season standings before, just to bring them back up. And we were talking about differentials this time. Clark University ended that round robin season with 41 rounds positive, and Cleveland State only 12. Let's do some quick maths. That's a 29 round difference between the two teams. That is 2 whole maps, potentially. So we'll have to see how that reflects, and we have already seen it on Lotus, but now here on Ascent. Well, Clark University maintaining that meta that we talked about, and Cleveland State, well, they're out here swapping things up, particularly going for Breach instead of KO and Raze instead of Jet. And those are some interesting picks, I gotta say, Tucker, because it feels like Breach's fault line and his flashes aren't as effective because of how boxy Ascent is. A lot of 90-degree angles funneling into other wider spaces. So we'll have to see whether or not Breach can actually be properly used here and integrated. We'll watch we'll watch for that as the map goes on.
I don't like it. I'm gonna say it right now, Ashkan. I do not like it. I didn't like how they went a single controller on Lotus. I don't like how they're bringing out Breach on Ascent. I understand the Raze play. I feel like she has a higher skill ceiling on a map like Ascent. Jet's tried and true. Anybody can pick up and play her and have a pretty alright time. But Lime has a lot of confidence in themselves, so they play the Raze, which, like I said, very high skill ceiling. There is things that Raze can do that Jet could never dream of doing. But the Breach play, I really do not like that pick.
Right here.
It is definitely controversial, and I'll give you that. And I agree 100% because it's just not... doesn't seem to be meta, but hey, we'll find out. We'll find out. Maybe Cleveland State's got hands this time around, and they're ready to throw them around. A lot of mid pressure being cooked up here by Clark University, though. 3 agents, 2 on Cat, 1 in the mid arch. Could this be a pop flash play? Could this be a straight up fight? Who knows? Sully going for something a little cheeky, a little cheesy, but only a little bit of damage there.
Could have been a lot worse. So Clark University gets away with one now. Also, it does not help that Clark starts on the defensive side yet again. It's the favored side on Ascent. 1-for-1 trade-off on both sides. Or Cleveland State decides to make their move. They are split up. They have 2 over on the west side of the map. The other 2 pushing over through B. But I believe the call comes out. They want to try their hand at B. Pistol round, feel like it might be a little bit easier to access.
I'm not a big fan of trying to pivot over to B, though, before having broken the turret, right? Because now that it's going to trigger and, you know, Fade is going to be able to see multiple people, it's just going to give a lot of time for Clark University to come over and shore up their defenses. 40 seconds about left on this clock here, and that's still a lot of time to rotate on back, which they will. But now it just feels like a pendulum moving back and forth the way that we're swapping from A to B back to A.
25 seconds for Cleveland State to work with as well. Smoke dissipates, and Drona catches the information and the head of Marvel. Sully evens us up with a 3 versus 3. Gotta get the spike down pretty quickly though. The shock dart comes out. Fode barely survives with 5 HP. Does not quite connect. Eventually, the shock dart does land the frag, but Sully on a 3K, and the ace is still on the table. Gotta watch out for the flank, though. You have the KJ coming from tree, which could be the end of this round. The headshot doesn't land, but a couple of body shots do, bringing Fade down to a very low HP. A shot from Ain as well with a double for them with the Ghost close range. Gets the round over to Clark.
That was pretty tight. That was pretty close, Tucker. That round could have gone either way. And, I mean, Hein and Fade just coming together. Both low on HP. Now getting to buy up. We're seeing Bulldogs, Stingers, Spectres. The entire spectrum of light buys as we walk into round number 2.
Only 1 Sheriff on Cleveland State. At the moment, anyway. There could buy up. And there could be more pistols at the ready in a second, but right now there's only going to be a Sheriff on the field. Meanwhile, Clark University, they have all the guns that they could want, aside from like the Vandals and the Phantoms, and yeah, we'll get to that in a couple of rounds. They've got the Sheriffs, they've got Bulldogs, they've got the Spectres, Stingers, whatever they need to win out this round. It should be a grind. Unless Cleveland, this shouldn't be too much of a grind unless Cleveland State put up a big fight, which I mean, last pistol round they absolutely did. For Sully, absolutely balled out, got 3 kills, but we need to see a little bit more.
Recon bolts to re-clear B main by Clark University, and I like them taking the space with it as well. Setting up a crossfire with the turret now, moving over to mid. Cleveland State flushing out players on Cat and Fode, dropping this owl drone. Poking and prodding where they can, but Zerona is just going to get rid of Lime right then and there. And Ain is taking up all control of B as the options for Cleveland State begin to fall apart. It's 2 initiators alone in mid by the refrigerator. And it's a killer robot there to clean up the job, Tucker.
3 kills for Kang with the Spectre that round. Good stuff from Clark University, not dropping a single player. And Drona brings out the big boy operator. Already, it only took 3 rounds, and this is Cleveland State's bonus round as well. That's surprising that they've got it this early.
Okay, taking their time, doing their due diligence. Cleveland State throwing up that turret, making sure that no fast pushes happen immediately. But the reveal, this is awfully dangerous, especially with Soup pushed all the way in, and Lime goes for the orb, and that's some unfortunate timing. And with that shadow step, Soup is out, leaving Sully alone, and now there's a bit too much pressure to try to go for the orb for themselves. Meanwhile, Revy going for a fight with the fault line, hoping to catch them with the aftershock, but the wall doesn't agree with them. Neither does Kang. Swinging out, getting one, and Ain all the way across the map, good for another. And it just feels like no matter how Cleveland State choose to place their pieces, Clark University has an answer for him to pick them off one by one by one.
The last 2 Vikings about to get boxed in. Fode's only 20 HP, sees the head of Soup. Unfortunately, they only have 20 HP. This needs to be a headshot without a body shot landing, or even a leg shot at that point. I believe a Vandal leg shot does more than 20, and it looks like that's what it is. It was a Bulldog, but the point still stands. Marvel gets 2 before they eventually fall to the headshot of Ain, and the Phantom gets that job done. Clark University win out the bonus, denying Cleveland State, and they push them back to another eco.
I really want to talk about Clark University's map control. That they are recognizing Cleveland State is struggling without that KO, right? You only have an Owl Drone and a Recon Bolt to work with in Cleveland's comp, and that brings them down so much, not being able to disable Killjoy utility as well. And that's really the only reason KO is a part of the event composition in the first place. And trying to force their way in is not going to prove fruitful either, as Fade is good for 2, and their partner in crime, their Sova, will find 2 of their own, and the round just closes right quick. And again, Tucker, this all comes down to the fact that Clark University, they can put their turret up very deep to spot B main early. They get to work with the KO 0 point to get huge spaces of information and therefore territory to walk up on, because their Jet Zerona has no fear, and their controller Omen is placing those dark covers just right to cut off any initial angles. Lime now pretty much running it down, but Paint Shell's out in hand, opening themselves up to these lines of sights. It's looking a little bit tough, Tucker.
It just gets worse and worse for Cleveland State. Clark University making quick picks appear out of thin air. It's a 5 versus 4 with Fade pushing up. This could be very dangerous. Sully sprays through. The spray transfer is not good enough. Fade is able to grab one, but Ain and Kang teaming up with another one going the way of the Phantom of Kane. Once again, headshot and a frag. Another round for Clark University. That makes 5 in a row. Clark University still has the 13-0 on the table, where Cleveland State will call a timeout. I feel like this is once again needed, but let's not forget, last map they called a timeout after losing the first 3, and then they proceeded to lose the next 4.
Yeah, the precedent definitely isn't set well in their favor. I want to talk about the utility that they're just not really taking advantage of. The paint shells, the aftershock, the fault line, it doesn't feel like it's even the shock darts. Tucker, they can shock dart the mollies on B, get rid of the turret that way in a safe manner. The aftershock can be put mid with breach, clearing out pizza or the close arches. The fault line can be sent to the left side of close arch and down into market, to stun off any players who go for that angle. Breach has this unique kit where he can clear both sides of a 50-50, and they're not really leveraging that to their advantage. And I feel like missing out on that mid control is exactly what is ruining them, because they know that B main or A main can become Killjoy's domain. So that's what I want to see a lot more of, is Breach's maneuverability, Breach's utility being taken full advantage of. Sova's shock darts as well, but for the rest of Cleveland State, it just comes down to being in positions to trade, and you can watch closely that even though they're right next to each other, there's no opportunity for that to happen. Again, Lime disconnected from the rest of the squadron over in A main.
We talked about this before the map got underway, how we had our doubts about just how bad or just how good Breach was going to affect this map. And like you said, we need to see more of Breach's versatility and maneuverability on this map, but Ascent doesn't accent that. There's not much that they can do. There's only going to be a certain level of usefulness that each piece of Breach's utility is going to use. The most useful aspect of Breach's kit right now is that rolling thunder, which is great. It works on every map, but it's an ultimate. Every ultimate should work on every map. The fault line is very situational. There's maybe one spot on this map where it works. The aftershock, it does not work as well as it does on some points. The flashpoint is good, but it is still just a flash. You need more.
Absolutely. I like the way you put it, an upper limit to the usefulness of his utility. Absolutely correct. But there is that rolling thunder that you said is useful everywhere. They're going to use it to at least try to get this round. And Fode unable to find one through the smoke, but Kang good for two as they swing out of that dark cover. And Sully, once again, all alone. Doesn't matter what map it is. And at a certain point, you have to realize that you don't need to be holding the flank, especially on a map like Ascent where the defenders aren't too keen on pushing up mid. If you're just going to execute, you might as well just stick with the team and throw your nano swarms to clear space, right? A lot of teams forego that because Killjoy serves that function of a default, but Cleveland State, another part of their comp is that it's not well balanced. If Raze and Breach want to execute with Sova, Killjoy is not there with them, and that is not just a restriction of the agent. I think it also comes down to the play style of the player, where you got to get in the range, or you got to get into the server and set up lineups to hit back gen, to hit back dice, to molly off heaven. Again, another function of KO that is lost in this comp, but you can at least shore that one up with Killjoy, and that wasn't accounted for, it seems.
Fade has a headshot as well. The space-making ability of the Duelist is completely gone for Cleveland State. And on the eco, that is ultimately a death sentence. Initiator goes down as well, at least one of them does. Revy has a nice shot, very good idea, holding out in wine and pushing Soup up. Very nice bait. They've got another one as well. Down goes the other initiator of Clark University, but the Sova is still available. And in comes the Sova with the Hunter's Fury. Has a shot that lands on a Sully and able to end out the frag. That forces Revy to fall back, get the spike down, but the push is already setting.
Last player standing.
Oh, that's a nice little cross there. Zerona does get Revy, but Marvel is
30 seconds left.
right around the corner to trade. 25 seconds. They could run over to B. Well, no, not anymore. Not with 20 seconds, but a couple of seconds ago, they could have made that timing, ulted and planted. 1 HP left in the bar, though. Not looking like a
10 seconds
great
left.
situation here, and you might just want to opt to save.
One enemy remaining.
It's good for one. If you swing, could be good for two if you hit the timing.
Wow.
Where are we going this time? Remember what worked in the past.
And that's really unfortunate. They died after the round ended. So all of the bonuses that they get for dying during the round, they forego that.
Alarm bot out.
That was actually the worst case scenario for Cleveland State.
Sentry.
Okay, so positive thinking. It is a defender-sided map. Cleveland State still has potential to go into halftime 7-5, which is okay on Ascent. It's statistically the most defender-sided map in the game. You're expected to lose more rounds than you are to win if you are attacking. And sure, Clark University have won 7 in a row, but Cleveland State has a lot of ults on the board. Out comes the lockdown. This could be something they can use to secure this round out. We saw what happened in the last map. It took quite a few ultimates before they won a round.
Gun here.
You know what, Ashcon? Never mind. They got the lockdown out. They brought it out. They were not able to get a single kill. It's a flawless round for Clark University. Their lead extends to 8. But we need hope. Hyper, we need hopium. We need the hopium, please.
It does come down to a comp issue, and I've kind of been rambling on about Breach, but it's also a mental, right? You've restricted yourself to this composition, and you have to see it through. And it just feels like Cleveland State, after 5 rounds, they kind of started getting a little bit lazy. We were watching Lime, and still are, seeing him just run in, disjointed from the team, no focus on the timing, not providing anyone an opportunity to trade them out. And then as soon as that disjoint occurs, the rest of the squad doesn't know how to navigate the map together either. As we look at Marvel, not providing an opportunity for Foe to come and help them. Foe with the recon bolt still in their inventory 45 seconds after the round has started. It's these little things that are stacking up into a domino effect where, yes, their comp could use some work and I prefer something else, but it's not that they don't have the tools at all. And there you go, that knife. Again, that's why we love KO, because Kane can now watch the flank and we can turn it into a high-low. Boat is good for 1, but are they going to find Ain 2? There we go. Recon bolt finally does come out from both sides as well. The pressure is on. What are you going to do about it? Nothing, because Fate has an Odin and they're going to spray you with it.
No, Cornell College might not be in the season anymore, but Banthanor lives on with Fade. Oh, no way, Cornell plays next. Oh, I thought of something else. My fault. Yeah, so,
it's like one of those,
sorry about that. I got confused. I thought Cornell got eliminated last week, but no, they're still here. Cornell's still here. Panthanor will be proud. Hopefully they can use that to a bit of their, I guess, advantage. They saw their baby get used in the last match. Maybe they can use it in their match as well. Oh my goodness. Round 10 gets started off with Girona bringing out the Blaze Storm and taking down the Sentinel immediately. Cleveland State has a red carpet to a site, but the retakes of Clark University have been so potent that it might not even matter. In comes the flank by Girona. This time, though, it's the headshot from Marvel. Lockdown on the defender side this time around. This has to be a fallback. There's no way they can push through this. Lime has a headshot, but the flank is still underway. And with just a couple of seconds before it goes, everyone gets detained. And it's the knife. It's the flash. It's the double knife from Fade, and it's double digits for Clark University.
That's just disrespectful. I'm just gonna call it as it is, Tucker. That KO flash and the knife on top of it was just straight up Clark University flexing. Just absolutely. They're just bringing the ego into it. And I mean, hey, 10-0, yeah, sure, you get a little big-headed, but if Cleveland State snap themselves out of the mental rut, that could be their downfall. Anyways, mid control. Cleveland State have been giving it up. Even when they walk mid, they just walk onto the site. They're not spacing out their agents and holding out angles farther away. Once given space, they just hold on to it. Oh, once again, caught with the paint shells being pulled out. Maybe it is back to Jet for Cleveland State, because I think we've watched about half a dozen kills against the Lime where they try to use the paint shells and it just doesn't work out in their favor.
What I need to know is how did that showstopper not kill?
Not ready yet. Cover going out.
Yeah, that's also a good question. I did see where that landed too.
That was insane.
Remaining.
2 versus 2. Cleveland State has a chance to win this out. It's a 1 versus 2 for Fade, and down drops the Odin. The shots don't land. Fade's still alive. It swings around, and they get the kill anyway.
No.
Headshot with the Odin. 30 HP left on the clutch, and Clark stays perfect. Unbelievable.
Oh, my genius.
That should be illegal.
Last
That is,
round in the half.
And again, the lack of confidence playing in there too, because neither side of Cleveland State wanted to peek for the other first and just take the double swing. And I get that it is a bit hard considering their position at Dice and Generator in a bit of an awkward angle, but it just takes one of them to kind of start running, making the noise, and they can coordinate that. Unfortunate. I'm just going to assume that Cleveland State's Omen did not have the paranoia. So we're going to let that one go as we move into round number 12, where First Blood goes towards Cleveland State, and this is the first time in a long time that they begin with an advantage.
Gotta ride this out.
Recalling my boss.
There's still the chance to win a round on attack. They need to get this one. It's 11-0 right now. If they get 3 more kills, they will have a 1-11 scoreline, which we saw that on Lotus. We expected a little bit better on Ascent, but honestly, we might not even get it with Soup and Fade teaming up, landing more kills. And the round started off with Cleveland State in the advantage. That has been completely negated. It's a 3 versus 2 in favor of CU. The spike is going to get planted. There is still the Hunter's Fury alive and ready for Cleveland State.
Last player
But
standing.
Clark University is rapidly pushing in. There's 1 for Soup. It's a 1 versus 3. Foe turns into a 1 versus 2. Gets it down 1 more, but this headshot needs to land. It's all around. They make a bullet outline of KJ, but they can't land the shot. So Foe gets up and gets put down. Clark University go into halftime with a 12-0 scoreline, match point, and series point.
Well, on the bright side, you can't bring an Odin to the next
Switching
pistol
sides.
round.
Match point. Oh, almost done? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's the pistol. Ashcon, let's talk about this. We got 30 seconds. This is the pistol round yet again. Clark University won the first 12 rounds in a row. They have not lost a round of Valorant in about an hour, give or take. Maybe around 45 minutes. Clark University have steamrolled their way through the defensive half, and now Cleveland State gets on the defense. They need to win 12 in a row and then 2 more for overtime. 14 rounds of Valorant in a row.
I was about to say, here's those lineups we were talking about, but I don't think the KO knife was supposed to go wherever it landed, right in front. But that Sova Dart did hit. Cleveland State doing a good job of holding down the fort. Clark University with only Zerona, and now nobody. It's a ghost town. 12-1. This could be the opportunity to turn it around. You only need 11 rounds. I've seen it done before. It's not easy. You know, it's not something that anyone enjoys doing, but when it is done, now that is something worth celebrating. So we'll have to see round number 2, but Clark University having rounds to burn, they can also force up, which seems to be their chosen option, because a lot of wiggle room means that you can go ahead and take risks. And if Clark University isn't a team to take risks, then I don't know who is.
Their biggest challenge is going to be the bonus round. That's where Clark University is going to have the advantage, and that's where Cleveland State are going to have to play perfect. But if they can get through that bonus round, I feel like they might have a chance. The B hit's coming. It's hitting hard. Sully only able to grab 1. They wanted a little more, but Ain is going to shut the chance of that down. Revy swings out. It's Lime to grab that first kill. They team up. It's hard to shoot 2 targets at once. The retakes coming in. You have to watch out for the player in main, but it looks like they figured him out. Paranoia comes out. Soup gets 2. Left up in the 1 versus 2 is Marvel. There's 37 HP in there ready. They bring out the Shadow Step. They need to win this out. They have the Spectre. They don't have any shield, and they don't have any more options. That is it. 13-1 final score. Cleveland State season is over.
Wow. Talk about a riveting series when it comes to Clark University just really wanting to take things home. And they, I mean, when you want to talk overperformance, you want to talk business, they brought the profits. They came in 13-1, 13-1. And Tucker, I got to put it bluntly, and I have to say it directly, they wanted it more.
They really did. It's hard to combat a team that simply wants it more. They took that last loss personally against Briarcliff and went all the way to map 3. It was a nail biter of a series, like I said a little bit earlier. They took it personally, and they want to prove that they belong in the grand final. So they have every intent to steamroll their way through the lower bracket and bring the pain to whoever wins, whether it's Ohio Northern or Briarcliff, whether it's the revenge game in the bracket, or if it's the top dog of the bracket. It's all going to depend on just how well this next couple of games goes. But let's get back to talk about the present. Clark University, they advance on. They move past the lower quarterfinals. Unfortunately for the Vikings, they are done. They took a swift 2-0, and their season is over. Congrats to Clark University. Big GGs to Cleveland State. They played their hearts out throughout the season, and they were one of the most riveting teams to watch in the entire MEC.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to Cornell College versus Miami University with the wonderful Captain Atsoka and beautiful Crow. But if I'm lying to you and we have an interview, you're going to see our handsome faces one more time once again. Regardless, stay tuned because more Valorant action is coming your way.
Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clip it. That's it. That's it. Hang on.
That recon dart going to spot out 2 of them. Going to grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that.
Done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbellton.
well, now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We already...
Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clip it. That's it. That's it. Hang on,
That recon dart gonna spot out 2 of them. Gonna grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that,
Done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission in which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbellton.
well, now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We are...
Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clip it. That's it. That's it. Hang on,
That recon dart gonna spot out 2 of them. Gonna grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that,
Done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission in which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbellton.
well, now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We are...
Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences.
The most common angles that the operator plays. This is like second to only B long. Fight is likely having a leg shot, but they're too slow. Hariri lands a perfect headshot.
Laying in the damage, showing them on out. Going into A4, look at Socket. Laying in the middle,
Socket?
laying in the damage. Going in, revenge for their honey.
No way!
Socket Wabe! Get the quadra kill!
That was
So it kind of sounds fun, so I'll give it a chance. And then we end up playing in high school the next 2 years together. We've been playing ever since. So he kind of taught me the game. We've been playing on a team since then, and then now we're in college, so we can't play together anymore.
We do love all the players, even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
Body
Soul.
Pluto looking for the plank. Trickster waiting, maybe looking for the steal. Pluto has his engage. The scatter of the weak comes through. Watch Levi though. Levi hasn't been touched just yet, but the damage is coming through. The melt line gets melted. Jinkwall on a killing spree, and all of Ottawa goes down.
Why? Those don't go in. It goes off the sidebar.
Starting to come out. The flash is popped. The rolling thunder is utilized to perfection. And now it's all on Thiessen, but Thiessen just keeps on going.
This fall, we are proud to bring you Valorant and Super Smash Bros. Valorant will be 8 teams, single round robin with a double elimination playoff. Smash will be 6 teams, double round robin with a 4-team single elimination playoff. Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to MEC, the Midwest Esports Conference. I'm Beautiful Crow, joined with Captain Ahsoka, and we also got Fade from the Victoria squad today. A 2-0, a pretty dominant 2-0. First of all, congratulations to you guys in that regard. How are you feeling after this win? I mean, was it expected result, or like, did y'all surprise yourself?
Yeah, I'd say it was like pretty expected. We kind of went into the game knowing what to do. We had our plans. Made some switches. I usually play like initiator, but I switched to sentinel this past few games, so it's been working out pretty well for us. Yeah.
Now, after this one, of course, you're gonna be moving on even further. I got to tell you, I mean, who do you think is your top competition moving along in the bracket?
Top competition, I say definitely BCU, and then was it Miami, Ohio? ONU.
I was about to say, don't sleep on Miami, Ohio. They're going to be playing next, and they're pretty much the sleeper team so far in the postseason again. But I wanted to continue to ask you. We already heard your top competition. I gotta ask. What are you expecting if you do get this grudge match against BCU? I know y'all got some history there.
We're just gonna go in there, play with confidence. I think the last time we played them, which we lost, I'm pretty sure. We kind of played down to their level, I feel like. And I think this next, whenever we do play them next, I think we're gonna definitely try to play at our level, play our game.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, calling it out. I see it, getting that good salty run back. I mean, it's there. It's definitely a possibility. I mean, we just have to see if Briarcliff doesn't slip up against ONU, you know? But yeah, that matchup's coming up in the forward. But yeah, making this lower bracket run, I always like to ask, so you do get that second chance, you know? Like, you and Briarcliff it was a 2-1. It was a very close matchup. Getting that second chance into this lower bracket, what was the mindset coming into it? Because it's putting you so far through losers round 2. So, like, coming into it, what is that mindset when you fall to the lower bracket, trying to make it back all the way to grand finals?
I think the mindset going into the game was just like dominate, just go out there and just kill. I think we're pretty like, I guess, mad about how we lost to VCU, so we just like we gotta dominate.
Definitely get that. And thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the victory. But yeah, make that run. Grand finals, it's so close. You're almost there, but congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Love competition so much. But yeah, that was Fade from the victorious Clark University squad. 2-0 over Cleveland State University. So we'll be pushing them on further. Everyone trying to get to that grand finals, a LAN weekend. It's up and coming. We're almost there, you know. So it's just, I know you said it's okay. I know you said Briarcliff is looking pretty crazy, but Miami University, Miami, Ohio, dark horse.
No, they're not even a dark horse. They are a sleeper. Like, they're literally a sleeper team going into the postseason. I mean, look at what they did against ONU. ONU was completely undefeated this entire season, and they took a game off of them in the semifinals. And you know what? They were the only team that I think that can really do that. Granted that, you know, BCU did get the upset over Clark, and they're going to be able to play ONU. But again, Miami, Ohio, they didn't play a lot of their games in the regular season. They just showed up and won whenever they did, just so that way they could qualify for the playoffs.
Like, who does that?
So, Miami, Ohio. That's who does that. Again, they're a sleeper team. Their record doesn't reflect how good they really are. And honestly, I think Miami, Ohio are going to go up against Clark, and that is where I don't know what the outcome is going to be. Because Clark, the way they just played against CSU was insane. Now, when you look at Miami, Ohio, when they played CSU, they gave up a game.
Yeah.
Clark University did not. So again, I think Clark is going to go all the way to grands. Again, it's really going to come down to what these lower semis and lower finals are shaping up to be. But yeah, I think Miami, Ohio is definitely a sleeper team. I would not underestimate them, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're Clark, BCU, ONU, don't sleep on Miami.
You know what? That's valid. Very, very valid. I understand that sentiment completely. I'm just really trying to see, like, if it does, get to that Clark-Miami matchup, which, it could well be very much estimated to be with the strength of these teams. That's going to be kind of scary. Kind of scary to see how that goes, but I'm looking at that winners finals. I'm looking at ONU versus Briarcliff. The outcome of that one, it feels like a coin flip at this point, but that's for another time. Our matchup, we're going to be covering Cornell, Miami.
Oh no!
This is the David versus Goliath matchup.
I wouldn't even say that, so to speak. I mean, because again, I got to put respect on both of these teams. They're both very, very good teams. But right now, the first thing that comes to mind, again, let's just go through the roster real quick. Let's take a look at Cornell. They got K-Bolt, Fett, Banthanor, Linfor, and Lamp. And if we know anything about Banthanor, there's going to be an Odin. I mean, the memes are all there. The memes are all there for the Banthanor Odin, the Odin Banthanor. They are one and the same. They are synonymous. Meanwhile, we go over to the other side for Miami, Ohio. They got Matt Ataraxi. Finally, I feel like I'm getting that name correct. Ataraxi. It took me so long. I kept saying Atari, like Ataraxi, but no. Again, there's a lot of history with these teams, with these names, and it's really good to see them come along such a long way. And then you got Panarin, CCR, and Thunder Knight. And the players I'm going to be looking out for from Miami, Ataraxi, Panarin. Those names come up a lot. Thunder Knight is also, I think, that clutch factor. So again, you got Thunder Knight as well.
Right, and production just let us know. CCR is actually subbing in for Phantom, who's usually on. I was about to say, when I look at the roster, I'm like, wait a minute. There's a slightly different name on there. I love that. But yeah, you're 100% right in that regard. Ataraxi, Panarin, you always see them in the kill feed, in the top feed, whenever they're doing stuff. But Thunder Knight is the big ace of this team. 100% can come up clutch in so many situations, and has done so. But yeah, this is a pretty strong matchup going up against. I mean, this squad, this Cornell, like, hey, I'm really gonna be looking at Cable and Fett to, or Cable and Lamp rather, to reel things in. Don't let Banthanor get a little too lost in the sauce, maybe. But it's definitely gonna be a fight for this Cornell lineup.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of the fight, let's take a look at where the fight is going to take place. We're going to take a look at the maps that we got today, and we're going to go to Ascent, Bind, and Split. Okay, no three-site maps today. All twos across the board. Hush, Hyper in production. Haven and Lotus are fun. I love them very much. How are you going to say it's not boring, but then they got Ascent on there? Like, come on. That's like, come on. That's S tier, like, and I like Ascent. I like Ascent for the record. I like this map, but universally throughout the community, they say that Ascent's boring. I disagree.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a really solid map lineup. I'm excited to see how they play on Bind, just because we know how they're going to play on Ascent. I would say slightly Cornell favored because they get the Banthanor buff on Ascent, but I'm looking at Bind heavily. Cornell selected it, but Miami, Ohio, just, they just have that X factor, and I'm really excited to see how they're going to go there. If it does go to Split, I 100% see this being Miami, Ohio's map if it does get that far. But we got to get through the first one. We got to get through A and B first before we get to SC, Split C, yeah. I tried to set up the joke. It just didn't work there. But, yeah, definitely excited to get into this as players are readied up. Got 30 seconds till we jump in. This agent select. Cap, what are the keys to victory for both of these teams? Go.
I mean, it's Ascent. So, as far as composition is concerned, what the meta is going to be the KO, KJ, Sova. If you don't have a Sova Odin combo on Ascent, you're not playing Ascent. You have to have a Sova. I'm sorry. Out of all the characters that you need to have on Ascent, Sova is definitely it. And then, of course, we're going to see the Jet. More often than not, you do see a Jet. I mean, sometimes you could sub in a Raze. That's all good and gravy. And then you finish it off with an Omen or an Astra. Astra's pick rate has actually been going up on Ascent, so it's going to be interesting to see on how that comes through. No surprise, Banthanor, they're coming in with the Brim. That's their comfort pick, and when you're this late in the game, comfort picks over everything else. However, when you look at the other side here, you're going away from Cornell, and you're looking at Miami, Ohio. Their lineup, their composition is exactly the meta. This is 100% it. This is what you bring to Ascent. KJ, Omen, KO, Sova, and Jet. Again, that KJ KO combo goes nutty on Ascent. And then, of course, you got to have a Sova. Again, it's not Ascent without a Sova.
Yeah, no, this is 100% the typical 5-stacked rank composition. I mean, you saw it a little bit in, I know Red Bull Homeground has been going on last night. Stayed up real late to watch some of those games. I tell you what. But also in a lot of the collegiate scenes, everywhere else, you have been seeing a lot of this composition whenever it comes to Ascent. I do like the variables, though, on Cornell's side, because adding in the, oh my god, Brimstone, does add an extra layer of defensive capability, right? Like, that orbital strike is very potent in opening up sites or closing out fights if he's able to get it off. So definitely looking at that to see how that will work, and it's Banthanor on it. I didn't expect him to actually pull it out, but hey, here we are, getting onto Ascent. Game number 1, Cornell versus Miami, Ohio. All the marbles. This is an elimination match here in this lower bracket.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm going to come in with a hot take when it comes to the Brimstone v Omen debate here. Is, when it comes to, like, picking your smokes onto Ascent, like, Ascent, you need as much entry as you can get. again, Ascent is very locked down type of defense. And when you're trying to entry, you know, at least when you're on the offensive side, you got to have as much of that entry as possible. And you don't get that with Brimstone. You get that more with Omen. Omen, they can paranoia their way onto site, or they can even teleport on the site. They can get on the site very quickly. So again, you know, I think at least on the offensive side, Omen does bring that little extra oomph when it comes to going for entry or even going for retake for that matter. You know, again, Omen, they just can get onto and take control of site a lot quicker than say what Brimstone can. Brimstone again is more of that defensive smoker, and then let's even say Astra, because Astra has been having a bigger pick rate. Astra's entry isn't that, you know, phenomenal, but she can still, you really section off the map. Again, her control is insane, not to mention the gravity wells. There's just a lot going on there. So when it comes to the smoke comp here between Brimstone and Omen, I gotta go with the meta. I gotta go with Omen.
Yeah, I mean, that's very valid. I mean, very valid analysis there. Good job. We just got to see how it goes into practice as we are on to the field of battle. Best of 3 here. Let us not forget, still on patch 7.08. Should be a spicy one to start off.
Let's see how things are going to start off.
But
yeah.
The real question here, though. How quickly does Bethanor buy the Odin? Get a countdown timer to start it.
As soon as possible. You know, I mean, if they win this round, then who knows? They might ask their teammates to, you know, fork up a little cash so they can buy the Odin. But, you know, we'll have to see. Again, it's not that expensive when you think about it. But here we are going into round number 1. We are underway, and now the spike is going to be headed towards A.
What?
And Autoroxy already on the site does get gunned down immediately.
Abel, really wonderful shot there. We thought he was going to get some of that trampoline move going, but not quite the case. Autoroxy gets popped immediately. Panarin returns with a great shock dart. Yeah, this is just 1-for-1 right now. Miami, Ohio opting to pull back just a little bit. We're now pretty nice and privy on the site.
Yeah, here we are. This is the calm before the storm. Finally, the push does come through, and the trades are being made in the favor of Miami, Ohio. They're able to take down 2. And now Matt was able to pick up a share after the spike does go down, and you got Lamp here on the top rope here in heaven, but there goes Panarin again. They know exactly where they are. The recon goes out, and they're going to be forced to back off.
I'm not sure I like this by Linford to jump up to the same area where they were just receiving so much fire from. A little spot ahead, but no, immediately CCR barely surviving here. Get off the turret. Panarin's up here. That's 1. Bringing for the next one. CCR will claim that. Miami, Ohio, a little bit shaky, a little bit spotty in that first map, but they pull it together and manage to get themselves the first round.
Yep, that they do. And again, it was a little bit of give and go. I mean, they lost the initial gunfight. I mean, they lost Autoroxy, unfortunately, just from the mad dash in, but they were able to regroup rather nicely. And now you can see that they did manage to take the round without dropping another player. So again, pretty solid-handed first round. And now they're going to get the power of the purse going into the second, and it's all full shields and nearly all Spectres coming from Miami, Ohio as we get round 2 underway.
Yep, going into it. Once again, Autoroxy wasting no time to get onto the site. Walmart will let Lynn 404 know that he's there, but the sheriff's in town. Not enough to keep him alive. This time Autoroxy gets 1 before he gets felled. Matt, great corner play, managed to grab 1. It's caught reloaded. Immediately fed it back. It's an absolute bloodbath here. Miami somehow, some way will come out on top. Just better A placement, I suppose, but that got a little bit more dicey. The rounds are chaotic. The first 2 rounds have been pretty chaotic, but Miami, Ohio, staying alive through it all.
Yeah, I'll tell you how they won that round. Spectres and full shields. I mean, they had the higher buy with the Spectres, and then they had full shields, so they could deal out more damage and take more damage. I mean, that was the power of the purse. But now, the power of the purse is going to go the way of Cornell. As you can already see, Bantanor only took 3 rounds to bring out the Odin, and they're going to go with a half shield as well.
Mad lad, he already did it. Round number 3. Hard investment into that Odin. Let's see, that investment pays off here as Autoroxy first on the site. Caught once again, Lin 404 staying on site, anchoring down hard. B-side is not safe, they say. Look to rotate through here, and this is good, but look who's in mid, just holding down all the way in that middle angle with a Vandal nonetheless. Puts everything on pause, on ice for right now.
Yeah, and you know, this is the thing with Autoroxy. They play very high risk, high reward. So don't get me wrong, that updraft onto site, you know, it could be a good play. It paid off definitely in the previous round, but again, you really put yourself in a vulnerable position. So it could be very rewarding, but at the same time, you know, you could go down early, which we've already seen twice. So I'm wondering how many more times Autoroxy is going to keep going for that play, but you know, we'll see as time continues to tick away here. Miami, Ohio, slowly but surely making their way to the mid lane.
Yep. Okay, call to rotate. I do like that.
30 seconds left.
But unfortunately for Matt, he will meet the wrath of the Banthanor Odin, as he is the site anchor, holding it down. Perfect spot. And that's the spike carrier too. We're now looking to finally get something in their pocket. CCR trying to play Solid Snake. Will get snuffed out. And Cornell, through the power of the Banthanor Odin, manages to get one finally in their pocket.
Yeah, well, now things are about to get interesting because this is going to be a buy up coming from the side of Miami, Ohio. And ooh, sorry, I had to sneeze. And now this is what Tucker would like to call the, or actually no, Shibby, I'm sorry, Shibby. They call this the real Valorant. This is where the match officially starts. It's going to be in the rifle round.
I would like to agree, but unfortunately, not all full armors. Teams is Banthanor once again up high with the Odin. I mean, that's a pretty scary combo. It reminds me of like a Halo 2 or Call of Duty round when you're like trying to rush in an area and there's like a guy on a turret. Yeah, because he's just going to do that to you if you don't take him out. Banthanor gets the double. Has to reload though. Very long reload time. Miami, Ohio has to rethink this approach. And yeah, you see on the map, trying to rotate through mid.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Miami, Ohio, they're really going to need a pick somewhere. If they can even try and pick one out in mid, but that Odin spray through main, it's not going to be doing them any favors. Again, they're still gonna commit. They're sneaking through. They're able to get rid of Banthanor, and now the big bad Odin is dealt with. And that was a massive fake, a nice bait and switch coming from Miami, Ohio, and now it's a 3v3. Matt from down low does get dealt with, and so does Autoroxy. And what looked to be a pretty good play has just been torn asunder, and now it's a 1v2.
Yeah, I mean, it just the play goes all up in smoke, but somehow, someway, Panarin's bringing it to a 1v1. A little bit of time left. He has to win this.
He also has that Hunter's Fury at the ready. There it is.
Oh,
and now
wow.
Here comes the rush. The rush is on. Oh, they called it off.
No, that's so smart. That is so smart. He didn't even need to finish it. He just needed a bait. He just needed to buy enough time to prevent Lamp from being able to defuse. Now Lamp is on the run. Lamp Panarin on his tail, but it will be both of them falling in the end. Panarin clutching up so well for Miami, Ohio there.
What was that? Oh my God, there's so much bait play that went into that. I mean, you had the whole time Lamp that just kept baiting the defuse over and over and over again, and then you had Panarin who was baiting the Hunter's Fury. There was just so much bait going on. You know, they were just really trying to mind game one another, and unfortunately for the side of Cornell Esports, they just ran out of time. I mean, that was an insane round, to be honest. That was really hard fought. And I gotta say, that was just a great play from Miami, Ohio, and good on Panarin to finish things out.
Okay, let's see what the play is from Miami, Ohio. A little bit fueled rather with some confidence after that last round. Try to make it work. A Bulldog spray not quite working. Zlin 4 holding it down on the back of sight like he normally has been. It's a nice tag, but many bodies are swarming on him. Has to make a call now, and unfortunately, too many guns in his direction. He will fall. His teammates not there to back him up in time. Fed has arrived and will fall immediately after. Cornell trying to hold this site down, trying to regain control. Miami, Ohio, just
Last
playing
player standing.
better Valorant fundamentals here. Cable, once again, all by their lonesome. Has to make a decision. Does he try to go for this, or does he try and save? Oh, fed a little too, Ataraxi rather, a little too fast for him.
Oh no, you gotta steal that Odin away. You gotta make it hurt. You know, take that Odin,
You
bring
know
it
why he
back.
doesn't want to touch it.
Yeah, bring it back home. No, can you imagine getting on a limb on Banthanor with our own Odin? Because it's a very particular Odin. It's like that bull skin. There's like a little bull where the aim, where the ADS is. Again, it's a very particular Odin. That is Banthanor's Odin. So again, it'd be a little salt on the wound to get an elimination with it. But Miami, Ohio, they don't need it. They're gonna stick with their rifles here. And after that fantastic round, I like how they switched up. You notice how we saw Ataraxi again. They constantly updraft onto site over and over and over again. But in that last round, they decided to go mid. And I think that's the better play. You know, the mid play from Ataraxi definitely paid off there.
100%. Yeah, I definitely agree. Appreciating the, pumping the brakes that Ataraxi has very much quickly learned needed to do. Diving on a site has not been working very well, so he needs to wait back just a little bit. He will be rewarded with 2 frags. Start this off. Once again, team deficit. Oh, what? Look, Banthanor says, I don't need just the Odin to do some damage, baby. Pulls the trigger on the shoddy. Claims 1, puts it at a 2-2. The plant hasn't come down because now they're scattered. They're trying to regroup again.
I just got to give credit to Banthanor's big brain play there on the door. They literally just hit in the smoke with the bucky and waited for the audio cue of the switch. And then just, just took off the Omen's head, and now it will be the final blow coming from Ataraxi, who was only 1 away from getting the ace. And there you have it. That's going to be another round win going the way of Miami, Ohio.
Only brought enough for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a timeout actually being called as well. I respect it 100%. I understand. It's fair. It's definitely very fair. But yeah, Cornell, they need to, do some problem solving real quick because Miami, Ohio are able to rotate and change tactics, and it's worked out well for them.
Yep, and now that we have our first time out, it's time for the Ahsoka and Crow show. So real quick, Halloween just passed. I got to ask you, how was your Halloween? Did you get spooky this year?
We didn't get spooky. We got wild, I will say that.
Oh my goodness.
Club going up on a Tuesday, for real. And I realize I am not a young spring chicken in college anymore. I am an adult male whose body definitely hurts after a very fun night out full of dancing and party favors. So yeah, definitely had a fun time on a Tuesday. It was Halloween though, so we were dressed up.
I got spooky. I ran around the neighborhood as Leatherface and scared several people.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen it.
And then I was also handing out candy, but nobody wanted to take candy from Leatherface, but understandable.
Very, very understandable. Okay.
I played the part pretty good, if I do say so myself.
Nice. All right, here we are, round number 7.
Yo, that ham looks delicious, by the way. That ham,
smoking, it's steaming.
It is steaming.
Wine.
Like it looks.
Is that some red wine? Yeah.
I mean, who's plotting here? I mean, the bear clearly, there's they want that ham, but then you got the bunny with the knife here. He's gonna, that bunny is plotting on the bear, but meanwhile, you got the squirrel with the grenade who's plotting on everybody. Yeah, the squirrel with the nade is plotting on everybody. They're gonna get the ham, the bunny, and the bear. They're hungry. They're gonna eat all, and then meanwhile, the worm there.
Is a snake? Is it a worm or is it a snake?
It looked like a worm to me, and I think the worm was just there to watch the show.
Probably, yeah.
They're just waiting for the action to start.
I believe it's a tech pause going on right now. So a timeout into a tech pause. Count your lucky stars. We are just waiting on confirmation on what the play is.
That's so good. It's still more time, for the Captain and Crow show, and I appreciate that because you know what? Let's talk about ISO for a minute. Now that we got a minute here, we got a moment. Let's talk about ISO. I want to talk about ISO because I just played with them a little bit in the practice lobby, and I like what they are bringing, but it's so aggravating because when I go in the practice, and I go for the practice defuse and plant scenarios. For some reason, ISO's focus ability, it doesn't work on the bots. and I don't know why, but regardless,
I've seen that too. Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird, and I haven't really gotten the full in-depth experience of using ISO's best ability, arguably, which is the focus ability. And it's the same thing with their ult too. The ult doesn't work on bots either. It's really weird. So again, you know, I haven't really gotten the full ISO experience yet.
Huh. Yeah. Me neither. I mean, I haven't even tried to play them yet. I'm not the duelist type. This has been something I have said before. But I do like his kit. Me and a bunch of others have really tried to theory craft where his place would be in the meta currently. Because, like, it's really hard to figure out where he would fit in. Like, who would you replace? Because very much still, the duelist meta right now is still very much, you know, Jet and Raze, and occasionally the Reyna, right? If there were a place to put him in, you know, like I could see him be a substitute for like a Reyna pick, or, you know, the random offshoot Yoru pick. But yeah, just like as a out the gate standout duelist, I wouldn't pick him. And that goes to say, do you pick him over another Sentinel or Initiator? Like, who would you rather trade off?
But to say over here about, I mean, the only way, and again, I agree that we can really see ISO come into formation here again is if the double duelist composition makes a comeback. You know, the tried and true, all reliable, that double duelist comp has been around since the beginning of Valorant and hasn't really gone anywhere. Even now today, we still see the double duelist coming around every now and again. And so, yeah, instead of some of maybe these double initiator comps or double smokes, maybe you do bring in the ISO. And I could see that being a composition. It just depends when and where do you implement that. That's the question.
Yeah, for sure. What?
You should run.
We need to check out our Axis PC because my man.
Nah, recon dart, dude. They got darted.
Did they get darted? I thought they were on the outskirts.
No, they got darted. It was fair.
Okay. Well, I'll let it slide.
Who trained you?
You know what? I'm not gonna let that slide, Banthanor. That was nasty. Okay, now retreat to this corner. I like the repositioning here, but not be able to move that gun fast enough. CCR will quickly deal with them. Spike is planted C. Wait, do they have another? Or it's not the enemy team with a different Odin? Oh, it is Lamp.
That is the tried and true. That's the Sova Odin. That's the OG. And just as quickly they get put in the dirt. But yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a Sova Odin, but then you have the Banthanor Odin, which is just a completely different beast. A bull specifically. Oh, and look at this Odin skin. I mean, I've seen this skin on other weapons, but this is the first time I'm seeing it on the Odin.
I like it. It's me like flashbacks to Bioshock Infinite, you know?
It legit looks like a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
You know the old crank? You know, the old crank gun, like the the Captain Ahsoka sound effects.
I'd have a cab VFX board.
Oh, but yeah, no, it does look like the Gatling gun, the old crank. But meanwhile, Banthanor again setting up a main with the Odin, and somehow they're forced off. Out of Roxy again, just going straight into sight. The high risk, high reward pays off for Miami, Ohio.
Okay, Ataraxi doing his best Jeff Hardy cosplay, jumping in there, managing to get something done. Hannerin takes down Banthanor, Odin v Odin, and he comes out on top. Bodies from Cornell just dropping like flies. Fett, the last one alive. He's got a storm coming his way. I don't know if he's able to race down for it. No. Immediately taken out. And Miami, Ohio picking up headwind of steam. They're going double Odin. This is disrespectful.
I mean, why not? You got them for free. You just got 2 free Odins. I mean, I don't know what else you want to do. I mean, and not to mention, it's not like, I mean, the Odin could definitely do a lot of work. And honestly, you know, you want it on the Sova. It
has been.
Yeah, you want it on the Sova and the KO. You want that Odin on your 2 initiators. So it makes sense to me. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm just running in. Full spray. Doesn't even matter. But now this very, very awkward buy coming out from Cornell. This is a round they can't, I want to say that, you know, they can't afford to lose, but at the same time, it'll be extremely difficult for them to win it.
Launching smoke.
So they are going to go ahead and push in. Banthanor, once again, with this gun out, gets taken down. Ataraxi. FILO. First in, last out. Managing to get something done. Under Knight looking to finish it off here. It's a 3v4. Cable managed to get one with the Sheriff, but how much more can they get is the big question here.
Did Banthanar fall to an Odin?
Yes.
Okay, that might have been their own Odin. I even said it earlier, you know, what would happen if you eliminated Banthanar with their own Odin? And I think Thunder Knight did just that. If it was Thunder Knight, they got the elim, it was 100% Banthanar's Odin. But now you can see Matt being able to find just another cheeky peek here. Look at Matt from down low. And there goes the Sheriff shot from Lamp. It does connect. Time continuing to tick away, and now out comes the Hunter's Fury. They just have to buy enough time, and I think they did. I don't think there's enough time left. No.
Enemy remaining.
Go run into the Odin, run right into it. Oh!
I thought he was safe. He was right before it. Oh, man. Okay, so that's all the Odin's gone. And they buy them back. Oh, no. See,
How about this?
Okay, this is Miami's strat right here. The mind games are 100% working, and it's leading to better results as well. 8-1 here. Oh, my goodness. Look, you said don't sleep in Miami. And very much reasonable assessments.
Yeah, again, this is that sleeper team. And the thing about Miami is that, you know, they definitely show up, but I feel like they also have a tendency to underestimate the people they play against sometimes. So again, they have to, you know, take this game seriously. They have to keep going with their best foot forward. And right now, look, I mean, they tried, they just pushed and forced their way onto site.
One enemy remaining.
And they just got dealt with immediately. A flawless victory for Cornell Esports.
Absolute flawless coming off of a round that, I mean, they spent a lot for. I want to say Miami used, what, 2 ultimates there, or was it just the KO ultimate?
I only saw the null command go out.
Right.
And I think that was the only ult, because when you're looking at the currency there,
okay,
you know, nobody's been reset to 1.
Yeah.
And then Panarin used their Hunter's Fury in the last round, so.
Okay, all said and done. Finally, does Cornell get something back on the board?
Who gave them an op?
He bought it himself. He got his own money.
Yeah, but the op? This is the first time I'm seeing the op, and it's on offense. What is happening?
That's what he wants to. Ooh, wow. They're gonna do what they want to. Miami, like, okay, let's stop messing around here.
Spike planted.
Stealing sight.
Decide to hunker down and play some real Valorant. Cable, though, will take out CCR, who has been a thorn in their side for a lot of this match. 1v3 Cable, around that corner, he better not miss a single beat. Why are you going for grenade, bro? He's right in front of your face. Okay, Cable will fall.
Last round in the
Thunder
half.
Knight will be happy with that one. We're at the last round before the half. All full buys. Go bonanzas. See what you can get.
I just thought it was crazy that Matt decided to show up with an op, and then they get the first pick of the game, of the last round, and they're just gonna stick with it. You know, again, you know, when we're thinking about the op, you know, it's always in the hands of a Jet or a Raze, even, you know, a Chamber for sure. But in the hands of a Sentinel, the only person I know that do that is oh, their name escapes me, but I want to say it's the Sentinel from ONU. That goes absolutely no. You know, BCU. It's actually the KJ, the Sentinel from BCU that does that. Kariri.
Hariri. Yeah, Hariri. Yeah.
Hariri goes nutty with that. But yeah, I'm surprised to see Matt breaking it out. But you know, at least they were able to get at least one elim. Let's see what else they can do with it.
Okay. Yep. Still in their hands. I mean, picking it very late into the game does not even matter. Says, all right, let's go ahead and clean this up. Looking down mid, but the fight is on at A site. It's a party. Atarax's got the knives out. It's one on the Lin, 404. Anthony, we're hiding in the corner. Wants to make something happen here. Has not fired off a single shot. He's rocking. Will tag down Thunder Knight. Goes for the second, but no. Atarax's knives are quicker. Anarin does get the plant down. Knife suppression. Not gonna tag on anybody. Matt has such a good angle right here. What's gonna do? Sees the hands of Lamp and takes him down. Vet managed to take down 2 though. Can they continue this momentum? They're scrambling, fighting frantically. Cable does get 1. I mean, Fet good for 3. Fet good for 4. Cornell putting it at a 9-3 half at the end of it all. Just managing to get something swinging their way.
And would you have it go any other way? You're going into the second half, and now it's going to be a 9-3 split. That's the way you want to go. And we've already heard from some other analysts and casters here at the MEC that Ascent is defender-sided, and I would respectfully rebuttal and say that this is the 50-50 map. I don't think you really get an advantage one way or the other. I mean, the win percentage probably does go the way of the defense, but I feel like you're just as capable in the offense as you are on the defense on this map. I just don't see there being a real big advantage either way. In Miami, Ohio, you know, clearly on the offensive side, went on an absolute tear. They get 9 wins on the board. Now they're on the defensive side, and they're looking pretty strong.
They are, indeed, indeed. 50-50. Yeah, I'll give you that. Maybe 60-40. But Miami, Ohio, we know they can play their defense just as well as their attack. Like, for the limited amount of tape that we have from them, we know they're pretty potent playing both sides, and Matt's going to show just that. So they bring the fight to Cornell. Just absolutely smoke them in every regard here. Cable gets one back, but the pro is sitting very low. 1v3, not going to happen here. Was that a defense round? Are we sure? Are we sure they're still not an attack round, Cap? Because they were hunting.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the exact same thing. They're still attacking. You know, they haven't finished attacking yet. I mean, it doesn't matter what side of the map they're on. I mean, they're still going to attack. And not only that, but now they also have, you know, an advantage in terms of weaponry. So I would expect them to attack even harder now.
Yeah, 100%. Get some coins in their pocket. We do see, you know, some smaller rifles coming out. See that Bulldog ready to rock. Bulldog supremacy. So yeah, they're just going for it. Araxi, what do you want? Get the 2 before they fall. Enter in through the wall. Lending area support. Miami, Ohio say, we gotta wrap this up, boys. We're taking too long. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think they were done attacking yet, Cap. They're just showing up in full force.
Yeah, Adaraxi about to drop a 20 bomb, and honestly is the embodiment of no chill. They have no chill whatsoever. There hasn't been a round where I have seen them, you know, take their time, play patiently. It's literally all gas and no brakes from Adaraxi, and this is exactly what we expect to see. Even in the pre-show, you know, we were talking about Adaraxi really, you know, just being the duelist from Miami, Ohio, and they're definitely showing why here, as now we are well and underway into round 15.
Yep, round 15. And Len will actually be the first one to actually drop some bodies here. Nice change of pace. Oh, gonna have a Panarin sitting in the corner. No, falls the Banthanor, trying to make it happen. Not been quite as impactful like you'd like to be in this map number 1. Oh, Thunder Knight wrapping around though.
Planted.
That's a great place for a flash, but he decides to second guess it. Fett will make him pay for it, and Fett will drag his team to one more round, saying we are not done yet, bros. Do not give up.
Learn something.
Yeah, nothing too against the ordinary there. I mean, again, that was the anti-eco coming from Miami, Ohio, so they weren't able to get everything that they wanted. And as a matter of fact, it did look like they tried to go for a hero buy. I did remember seeing Adaraxi there on the Vandal, and they lost it. So now this is like a broken buy. I mean, this is a buy and a quarter. You know, you got a Guardian there, you got a Stinger, but you also got 2 Odins set up on B. But look at where the spike is, though. The spike's over there on towards A, so that's going to be the right call from Cornell.
Absolutely. Okay, Adaraxi with the Guardian. Trying to make some peaks happen, and he will eventually take down Cable. 1-for-1 trade here. See what the call is to be made. Matt with the Odin in the prime spot. Oh, wow, this could be so good. Any inkling? Yeah, they're trying to time it. They're trying to time it. They're listening for it first. And now they're just going to go for the spray. But no, it's Banthanor who says you cannot out-Odin the Odin man. Gets himself too completely blind. That was absolutely insane. I love it.
Yeah, that was completely nutty. Honestly, could be clip of the week or clip of the day, just because when you really look at it and realize what happened, it was the KJ and the Sova from Miami, Ohio that had the intel to see through the wall and get the limbs, but Banthanor just went off of pure instinct. It knew where they were, didn't have any intel, and still managed to get the 2-piece with the Odin through the wall. You can't out Banthanor.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it here. Now let's see what happens through here. Down to a 2v1 at the end of the day. Ataraxi. Can't get it done. Yeah, Cornell slowly clawing their way back.
And I think this is going to be a save round now from Miami, Ohio. So yeah, Cornell Esports definitely making a comeback here on the offensive side of the spike on Ascent, being able to win 2 back-to-back and now going to win a 3rd as well. I mean, I don't see them dropping this round just because it is going to be a save round coming from Miami, Ohio. I mean, they got a stinger, sure, but you you got a stinger going up against a fully kitted Cornell Esports.
Oh yeah, full kit, got some raised rims on that thing, maybe a nice little spoiler. But you know they're gonna try anyway. Very good ultimate usage coming out, but hey, Cable is overloaded and combat stemmed up. He's ready to rock. Jumping into the site, gets 1, looks for the 2nd. He's looking around, zipping. Where is the rest of the Miami, Ohio lineup? He's asking Bantanor with the plants. Now, what's the follow through for Cornell? They have some momentum in their pocket and they're looking to use all of it. Panarin patiently sitting, waiting for the slightest misstep from Cornell. Ataraxi, as the cloud bursts out, this retake is about to be real scary.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Ataraxi does have the Blade Storm at the ready, but look at this. Look at Matt. They just get picked up by Bantanor. What are you doing back there, Bantanor? Such a cheeky play, and again, they called that one perfectly. Cornell knew the push and the retake was going to be coming from mid, so they set up for a pinch, and it worked out pretty well. Again, Bantanor being that lurky turkey there behind boxes in A main, able to pick out Matt. That was a beautiful play, and great placement and positioning coming from Cornell as well. They literally covered every angle of the retake.
Yeah, they did a great job with that pinch play like you had called out, and just... It's so interesting because the way they started that plant was so frantic, so crazy, so like headstrong, and they just immediately pull back and reassess and be like, oh no, we've done this before, this has not worked in our favor. So now here we go again. Combat stemmed up, but this time on Big Band. Matt's in a very great position to make something happen on his behalf. Panarin will claim the credit, but that was all set up by the Big M. Now Lamp's teammates just fall right in front of him off of a few really good rounds. Not able to make much happen after, but he gets 1 on exit. How long can he stay alive against a force of 3?
Well, only time will tell, but still great round coming from Miami, Ohio, just to, really call out that B push from the jump. And then Matt just laying down endless fire there with Odin. Again, there's a lot of Odin gameplay happening right now. Again, I think this is just petty being petty. They're like, okay, Bantanor's gonna use Odin. We're gonna use 2 Odins. Okay, you want to use an Odin? We're gonna bring 2. We're gonna do Odin better than you, Odin. Again, it's just a lot of fun being had on Ascent right now. But at the end of the day, this is playoff spot here. Once you go down, you go down. So there's a lot on the line. Meanwhile, Miami, Ohio are gonna put themselves onto match point.
Yep. It's been a long game number 1. Some of these rounds have been dragged to the very last second. Miami, Ohio looking to finish this first one and coast into the second one, but Cornell, they're definitely putting up a decent fight and going into this next round. Very nice buy. They're sitting on 3 really, really good ultimates. There's a real chance that they could prolong this even just a few rounds more. They just have to play correctly.
I'm going to make a prediction. Ataraxi kamikaze dives straight forward, unleashes with the judge.
Ooh. I'm
not saying it's going to be successful. I'm just saying I think they're going to do it.
I don't think they have to, as they have a pitch set up here, waiting for Cornell. I do love the use of that ultimate coming out from Banff, but Thunder Knight's going to clean all of them up. Watch his buddies fall right in front of his face. Cable, though, mentioned to help his buddy out.
No charges.
Very, very scary situation. Is Matt on the lurk? He'll put it down, give him the finishing touches. Miami, Ohio will take game number 1 in this elimination match.
Yeah, that they do. But at the same time, that was Miami, Ohio's pick. So that's what I expect. You know, you pick the map, that's your go-to map, that's your good map. I expect you to pop off on that. So again, no big surprises there just yet, but now we get to head to Bind. That's where things are going to get a little bit interesting because Bind, it has been in and out of the map selection all season long. And you know what's really interesting? We just got off of Ascent, and Ascent, I don't think I've ever seen Ascent banned this season, at least not for the games that I've casted. I have yet to see Ascent banned. And it's for as much of the community that, you know, has such a problem with Ascent, it rarely gets banned. It's always been in the map rotation, at least here at the MEC. But Bind, it's been constantly in and out, in and out, in and out. So again, I'm going to be interested to see on how this one plays out on Bind going into the next round.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely excited to get some Bind gameplay, Bind gaming happening now. But that's going to be on the other side of a quick break. Don't go too far because we will be back for match number 2 here at the MEC. See y'all in a moment.
Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clip it. That's it. That's it. Hang on,
that recon dart gonna spot out 2 of them. Gonna grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that.
Done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbell.
Well, now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We are.
Welcome back to MEC. I was gonna see how long I could do that for, not gonna lie. But let's just let me not get ahead of myself. Anyway, I am the melanated in my show of madness, Beautiful Crow, and I got the big Papa Pump himself, Captain Ahsoka, with me. We're going into game number 2 here. It's absolutely insanity. It's elimination is the name of the game here. We're going to bind.
Yep, that we are. And I got to say, I'm just, taken aback a moment that, you dropped the big Papa Pump reference. Because, again, I think you and I are the only ones in this broadcast that's going to understand that, And again, I don't have any muscles. So, I still went and, I did the thing. But still, though, again, kudos. I appreciate that. Whoa, that was a throwback. Woo, to like Monday Night Nitro throwback, But
you see the thing of chainmail just to wear in your head.
I have it. I have the chainmail, by the way. I used to do it when I played. God. Yeah, I have it again. But regardless, we're getting ready to head into Bind. All nostalgia aside, we'll take a trip down that road later. But yeah, we're gonna go to Bind now, and this is gonna be interesting because this is going to be the pick of Cornell. We just got off of Ascent, which was Miami, Ohio's pick. They wreaked havoc. They got the dub. They decided to go Banthanor for Banthanor. Yeah, that is the one and only Scott Steiner, yeah. Big Papa Pump. That's the guy.
Big Bad Booty Daddy.
Yep, that is them, and quite the wrestler indeed. But like we were saying, we're now going to Bind, which is going to be the pick of Cornell. And again, this is their backs up against the wall. They have to come in clutch because they are on match point for Miami, Ohio. So if Miami wins this one, they're going to be moving on. And unfortunately, Cornell will be out because this is the lower bracket.
I love a good old double bracket format because it allows for situations like these. It's literal do or die time. And you know what they say. I think it's to quote the great series Avatar, when we're at our lowest point, that is when you're susceptible to change. Like, this is that growth moment, you know? Like
That General Iroh?
Yeah. No, I think it was Guru Patuk, right? Because he was talking to Aang.
Okay, so Guru. All right, Guru.
Yeah,
Guru Patik.
Yeah. The old one with like the long old beard or whatever, and he gave him that weird juice thing.
Ooh. Aha. And yes,
it was
onions.
It was said to Aang.
Yeah, and then they were also drinking onions and banana juice.
Onions and banana juice, yeah.
Sounds
Onions
disgusting.
and banana juice. That is the key thing that not even the quote itself, just that key moment. I'm like, onion and banana juice?
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Whatever. I'd probably put it in a smoothie, but we'll have to see if.
I mean, if I can unlock the Avatar state, I would drink it. But other than that,
that'd be pretty baller. Not gonna lie. We'll have to see if Cornell has made that change. As we are here on Bind, going into Agent Select. Because, I mean, they're going to need it right now. Backs against the wall. Miami, Ohio, looking to get a swift, easy 2-0. Oh, you know they're confident when they bring out the Reyna.
Oh, absolutely. And, we were even talking about this earlier, like where could you put ISO in? I mean, maybe in this scenario, maybe on Bind, you go with the double duelist and then, maybe instead of Reyna, you bring ISO. But no ISOs here because they're not permitted. They just launched. But other than that, you're looking on the other side here. And you know what? I'm actually liking the composition from Cornell. I like the double smokes, especially when you're going to be going with double mollies. You have the Viper and you have the Brim. I think that's going to be a fantastic smoke combo. And the Chamber pick. I've slept on the Chamber a good bit. And I got to tell you, being able to watch some Shopify Rebellion definitely gave me, they gave me a little bit more respect for Chamber. So again, I've got a little bit more respect for them these days. So I'm looking to see some pretty big plays out of that Chamber pick there from Lin 4. But other than that, it's pretty standard. Again, Sky, gotta have a Sky when you're on Bind. Omen smokes over there for this side, along with the Reyna and Raze. Still looks pretty standard for the most part. And a KJ, got it. I'm also pretty confident in having a decent Sentinel when you're here on Bind. And KJ, in my opinion, is the best Sentinel. So with that being said.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty standard for Miami, Ohio. They seem to stick with the meta compositions.
For sure. Run the meta, run it well. It'll lend you to victory. But yeah, I have, been a big fan of the Chamber in a lot of recent matches that we've been seeing all across the landscape of Valorant in the offseason. So it just works very well indeed. In combination with the Viper, I love that so much, but this double duelist coming out from Miami, Ohio is nothing to scoff at. Like, that's scary. Raze Reyna getting yelled at by two hot Latinas? Bro, I've been there, done that. I do not recommend it, man. It's like a recipe for disaster. CCR. Maybe that first scout for theirs. See if they can go for two. Predictus in the corner. Oh, what? Yo, that's crazy. Thunder Knight body blocking for his homie. Allows Panarin to get the kill before anything bad happens to the rest of the squad. Cornell coming up unlucky. Lin 4 rather, pretty lucky through the smoke. Gets one on a Thunder Knight. See if they can convert this. It's now a 3v3. All even Stevens here in this pistol.
And again, Miami, Ohio, they just don't know how to play defense. It's just offense. It's all offense all the time. Like, again,
no breaks.
Yeah, they just haven't yet to stop. And look, they're still peeking through the smoke even after they got clipped. Like, they got called out and they got shot and hurt. And they were like, no, I'm going to peek again. Like, they just have no chill, none. I think Autoroxy is just, their play style, their personality is contagious.
30 seconds
and it has spread to the rest of Miami, Ohio.
Absolutely. They're just saying fight. Let's go. No brain, only triggers. And a little bit of tact and a little bit of planning being called to action now. A-site to be the name of the game. 15 seconds left in this round. They finally, we're going to plant. There's no way. Panarin, bro, you got to land those shots. Eventually we'll do so. Within a 2v2, peeking around the corner. CCR will get the overheal off. He should be able to win this 1v1, and he does. And Matt will stick the defuse. A very long, grueling, arduous round one. Eventually it gets done. Miami, Ohio getting the first round in their favor.
I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Reyna. I do think Reyna has their uses, but I got to tell you, they are unparalleled in the pistol round, right? Like, Reyna's in the pistol round, they just go absolutely nutty. And it cannot be denied. They do. It can't be denied. So, again, you know, going with this double duelist comp, you know, already putting in a good amount of work is the Reyna CCR. Off to a great start here as now we get ready to head into round number 2. And a little confused here because the buys are just going all around. And the CCR is just going to stick with a frenzy. I think, hold on, production put an Odin timer up. My goodness. Can't wait to see how long. Can't wait to see how long it takes for the Odin timer to finally get an Omen on the field. Meanwhile, you got Panarin again playing those jiggle peaks with the Guardian, not being able to find any just yet. Yep,
No jiggle, won't fold. Oh wow, am I full of references today? All right, let's go. There's a little bit of a pause on the play. Cornell looking to rotate back through. Yeah, they want to go A side now, but Ataraxi on the case. In a wonderful positioning too. All he has to do is not get caught. He does spy onto Banthanor. Ooh, who actually wins it with the pit? James Bond, is that you? Hello? Under Knight though on the flank, on the lurk. Gets 3, goes for 4. Lid 4! Unfortunately, gonna be that 4th. Must be a Jin main. Okay, you're gonna follow him through the teleporter? I don't believe so. Oh yeah, they do! They want the fight, they want the smoke! That says bring it here, big boy. Gonna go ahead and claim that one, so no ace, unfortunately, for the homie, Thunder Knight. But he did so much work in that last round.
Yep, that they did. And now we're heading into the bonus round for the side of Miami, Ohio. But again, it has only taken 3 rounds for the Odin to come out. Banthanor not only has the Odin, but has a full shield to boot. And we're going to see what damage they can do with it here on the offense. And they have given them the spike as well. They're going to be the main striker now for Cornell Esports. And they are setting up for the next play. Let's see how it works out.
Okay. Odin is on the board after 3, which we kind of expected to be, let's be honest. It would not be a Banthanor game with a round 3 Odin by CCR. Now pops the Empress. Oh, he wants to take this into his own hands. Accelerate this lead that Miami, Ohio does already have. And then 404, however, something to say about it. Dropping Panarin. What is the continuation? What is the play? Look at the A site wide open now for Cornell. Looking like Miami, Ohio are on the chase as Ataraxi opting to save this round with just a ghost. Unfortunately, will be turned into one himself, courtesy of Lamp.
Finished.
Matt, though, quite the revenge artist. This is what looked really well for Cornell at the start. Cannot convert all the way through. 2v1. He has to buy time. Cable gets down to Thunder Knight. He doesn't know where CCR is, though. Now he has an inkling, but 33 HP cannot heal himself. This is a very scary situation. Let's have Nerves of Steel. Perfect timing. And that will allow Cable to be the savior of Cornell Esports and get them around.
Now just dig in and climb up.
That was nearly a bonus going the way of Miami, Ohio. But with that being said, that was an expensive win for Cornell. I mean, they're going to have to rebuy 4 times. They have enough, but look at all those half shields coming out. And meanwhile, you're looking at Miami, Ohio. They're going to go for the full buy. Only 1 half shield, and they have it op.
Matt, he says it's time to go hunting. Pulls out the operator. Let's hope it's actually worth. Banthanor has no Odin this round, so not really fighting fire with fire, but
Grenade!
Yeah, that's a shame too. I was really enjoying the Odin matchups there on Ascent, but no, I don't think we're going to see that here. Meanwhile, you do see the Viper getting ready to go to work for Cornell, providing a good amount of cover. And now the spike does get planted, and it's going to be all about the retake now for Miami, Ohio.
Okay. Very, very early plant at Cornell. The retakes have not been the cleanest as Thunder Knight rings the thunder. Goes for 2. That boy wants his ace this game sometime, somewhere, wants to make it happen, but CCR gonna deny that. It's okay, he can settle for a 4K, I suppose. Oh, wow! Settles for a 3 because he gets felled by Banthanor. The defuse is there, but it's only one guy. Yeah, he's not gonna try. Wait, the ball! Wait, the Molotov! What? No, no way! He gets 2! Banthanor, the biggest brain in the game! Saves the round for Cornell! Spins it all and wins big. Send this man to Vegas. Get him in some slots.
I mean, there was no luck there. That was just big brain, high IQ plays being made by Banthanor. Again, following up the molly, buying enough time as possible, and then only using the orbital strike to finish it off. That was just a fantastic play.
That is every Brimstone player's dream right there.
No, absolutely. And Banthanor out here living the dream, coming in clutch, and now the finest Odins, all freshly fired. That's right. But it doesn't look like Banthanor is going to get their Odin here, as now Cornell have the upper hand, and Banthanor gets dropped instantly by Autoroxy.
Cover going out.
I just want to point out the one round that Banthanor didn't have an Odin. It's the one round
I've got your trail.
for the team completely off his back. It's kind of insane. But onto this round now. Focusing hard on A site again. The plan has not come down this time just yet. Looks like the calls to rotate over to B, but they're going to run right into the waiting arms of CCR. Only armed with the Sheriff. Still pretty potent considering who this player is. He's going to call it out. Yep. Oh, wow. I love that. Just be sneaky, sneaky. Don't get seen. But call out as much information as you can. Miami, Ohio are definitely on the chase now, but Cable, oh, you had every single thing lined up for you, my boy. You gotta land your shots. You just gotta.
And now they have given us a free Vandal away and then some over to Miami, Ohio. So now this has completely turned on its head. It might be even a thrifty round. As, again, only 2 players remain for Cornell. Let's make it 1. CCR on a tear, looking to get the 4K to end the round. Again, the Jiggle Peak's coming out, and they finally get gunned down. Fett able to come in clutch. They get one on Autoroxy. Now it's a 2v1. Going for the shotgun play, Panarin. Lordy, watch out for the shorty. That is going to be a big win for Miami, Ohio, as they will take the lead back.
Okay, snatching it right back in. I was really close from Fett doing something magical. But yeah. Very nice job by all off the back of CCR that last round. Man sniffs it out, calls the rotate, takes matters in his own hands. This early on in the game, that works. Very, very important elimination match. Miami, Ohio cannot afford any mistakes.
Well, the play is now going to go down here towards A mid. The tour de force does get popped. One player already down. There goes the Empress, and they do not last long. But look, a flank from Autoroxy. Able to get a 3K there in the mid, and now it is a 2v1 against Cornell, Miami, Ohio. My goodness, again, they just don't know how to play defense. It's all offense for Miami.
It's just all offense, I'm telling you. The best defense is, offense, apparently. And it's working 1,000% for this Miami lineup.
Half the time, it works 100% of the time. Well, there goes the audio cue. They know where the plan is going. And down it goes, and they're going to walk right into Panarin, who is able to get the final on him. And now they're just going to have a little bit of fun here. Just going to blind their own teammate. Like, no, I got the defuse mine.
Okay, so now this is where things start to get scary. Multiple rounds in a row for Miami, Ohio. We know that they are a very momentum-based team. When they start getting that ball rolling, they keep it going down the entire mountain. A little bit of a... Okay, I wasn't sure if they bought the rifles or not yet, but yeah. It's going to be a nice buy coming out from MO. Let's see what they can keep going with it. Or are they going to be able to play off of the showstopper from Fett here for Cornell to make something happen?
Well, I just think it's interesting that, Matt, they have had some monies, in previous rounds and in this round, and they're just going to stick with the judge. They're definitely having some fun with it, and I don't blame them. You do a lot with the judge. And meanwhile, the first 2 peaks will go the way of Cornell as they get the first 2 picks. And now they have a big advantage here. They can strike back against Miami, Ohio. Now they just have to play this post plant.
Spike planted.
Very early plants coming out for Cornell has been the name of this game so far. All the action happens in the after. Vanthador cannot be denied. Gets 2 even while blinded. Just spray and pray. And God is with you today, apparently. Bring it down. Miami, Ohio, only with 1. It's Ataraxi, who's put up some crazy plays before. Has to pull another 2 rabbits out of his hat. Gets the peak. No time to defuse, though. He has to be sated with that 1 frag and then back away.
Yeah, take your dub, save the Vandal, if anything. Maybe even look for an exit frag. You can definitely catch this one. You can catch Lamp. They're making their way out of showers. There it is. Free exit frag. That is really the best case scenario. Don't get me wrong. You could, go absolutely crack to get a 3K and then get the defuse. But, better safe than sorry in some scenarios. And I think that was one of them.
For sure, for sure. 100% agree on that end. Get what you can. Don't you can't afford to be too greedy in this game. I mean, just sometimes. So Cornell lining their pockets. They're a little greedy with this buy.
Well, Miami, Ohio still trying to hold on to their 1-round lead as it looks like the spike is going to be making its way over there towards B. It's going to be a full push from Cornell. And look at the majority of Miami, Ohio. They're over there on A, so they only have Matt to hold things down. And they're getting rid of all of that KJ utility. So yeah, the rotation has to come underway as now the utility is being spent by the side of Cornell. You heard the showstopper. Now out comes the orbital strike. They are spending everything to get onto site. And now out goes the KJO.
Oh my god. I don't know what Guardian Angel Matt has for him. I wish we could get a replay of what just happened. That showstopper missed right in front of his face. Holy crap. Okay, the KJ ultimate is down. That's going to allow Miami, Ohio to push off Cornell from the site. They got 1 detained. Does not seem to matter, though, as they're taking matters in their own hands. You know what, let the bullets fly. Thunder Knight. Panarin going to let that happen, Not the volley. Look at the delayed molly. How high up did he shoot that? It doesn't matter. Miami, Ohio keeping ahead. But oh my god. That rocket missing right in front of Matt's face. Insane.
And Cornell invested a lot into that previous round. A lot of utility. 2 ultimates to boot. And my goodness, is now we're going to get a chance to take a look at what exactly just happened. Again, this is where all the ults came in. Here comes the orbital strike and the showstopper. You got to remember the showstopper came out as well. And there it is. There was the showstopper just right in front of Matt. And somehow they managed to avoid not 1 but 2 ultimates just now.
Literal Guardian Angel has been back to live. See if that Angel is continuing to watch over the rest of this Miami, Ohio lineup. As they're pushing forward, they're saying we're going to go hunting and take it all, baby. CCR gets Fett, Panarin gets Cable. Spike is planted through all of it. The Viper's Pit is active. How long can it buy? How much time can it capture for Cornell? Panarin's in a great spot to make a ruckus. Pinks are coming out. Very, very scary. They're collapsing onto Cornell. CCR gets Lamp. Cloud will be dispersed. Banthador cannot hold his own for long. It's all of the win for 1v3. Doesn't land the shots he needs. And that's another one going for Miami. This ball is rolling.
Yeah, it most certainly is. And you know what? That Viper's Pit was actually pretty good, but unfortunately, they didn't really have the weapons to back it up. I mean, I saw a Bucky in the mix. Again, it wasn't necessarily their buy round. It was kind of broken, and now you can see they're going with another broken buy. As again, Banthano is going to be showing up with the Odin, and now the Rifles will be following suit. But now Miami, Ohio, they have doubled their lead. 6-3 now over Cornell. And Cornell, they're going to have to start changing things up because the last thing you need is to go into the second half at a deficit with Miami on the attack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he thought this quote unquote defense was strong by Miami, Ohio. Maybe their attack is something so much more fierce. Cornell wants to avoid that at all costs. Get as many rounds in their pocket as they can. Ataraxi, completely blind, takes out Lamp. The key figure for this Cornell lineup. Anthanor, Lin 4. Gotta make some magic happen right here, right now. Should put the pause on things so far. Panarin says does not matter. Get him done. Take him out.
Destroyed.
Okay. A party in showers apparently. Giving more bodies to Cornell.
And look at Lane 4 does get picked out. Now it's a 2v2. Things are back even. And Fett and Banthanor are both hurt, but mostly Fett there. Zapete goes through and it will be CCR to find the elim. Now it's a 2v1 advantage in the favor of Miami. Fett from inside the showers does get gunned down. And that is going to be another round win going to Miami, Ohio, and has got to be a save round coming up next for Cornell.
Yeah. Okay. That was, once again, a tricky situation from Cornell, just made worse. They managed to claw their way back in towards the end of that, the last bit of that round, but just missing their shots and not being first of the draw, causing them to lose it again. You know, they fumbled it, recovered it, and dropped it again.
Well, look at this. I mean, they're not going to go for the save round. They're going to buy up again and have that broken buy, which is going to be, you know, a lot of these half shields. But let's see what they can make of it. I mean, they do have a couple of rifles, one classic in hand. So I definitely wish them the best. Panarin is going to be holding here into Hookah. They're going to have to get out of dodge. That is danger, especially when you know the showstopper is online. And they're able to avoid it. Did they just dodge, dip, dive, and dodge away from the showstopper?
They 100% did. Okay. Let's see what the finishing touches of this round are gonna be. It's Matt swinging around to the judge. Switches to the Phantom. It was a bad call. You're in close quarters, baby. You need that spray. But it will not matter. Panarin is down. Last man standing for Cornell, or for Miami, up against 2 from Cornell. Lin 4, you gotta land the shots, bro. Oh no. The time is not on their side. They just gotta buy a little bit more. Cable, nice flash. Does he stick through it? Does he stick through it? He does, but he probably should not have. Cornell gonna grab some more rounds.
Last round before the switch.
One more before the swap. Cornell looking to push it just a little bit further.
Yeah, and you know, it was a tough situation. Again, you know, we got to see Panarin. They invested into Lin 4, you know, trying to get that elimination. They called in the Seekers. They tried to throw out the blind, but the blind hugged the wall, and then, you know, they couldn't get the elimination. Lin 4 got away. So I mean, at the bare minimum, they could have gotten that elimination on the chamber, but you know, you still had to worry about Cable. Cable was not going to let that defuse happen for free. So now here we are, round number 12. Let's see how the first half will finish. Ataraxi again, no chill. Going to be diving right into the face of the opposition and somehow gets away.
He lives this time. He manages to live through it. Woo! That teleport. Oh, wow. Lin 404 counting his lucky stars on that. It's Cornell. Looking to rotate over through A. This time we'll be scouted out. You have the man of the plan, Thunder Knight, on the site, ready to rock. Let's see what the play is here. Ataraxi gets dropped by Cable. To smoke. Oh no. Rocket is here. Once again, does it get dodged though? It does! 0 for 2, complete dumpsters. Not working for Cornell. Thunder Knight backs off for just a moment, but he has all the info he needs.
Yeah, we just need some util dumps in the showers. I mean, you know exactly where they are. Oh, I'm looking at the blind fire lands, but it doesn't matter. Thunder Knight eat the damage and then some. As the overstrike does get one, and now Banthanor gets another. They're gonna have to stick. Pros don't fake, and neither does Panarin. And there you go. It will be an 4 lead for Miami, Ohio going into the second half.
Oh man!
Remember to talk to each other.
What a way to end that first round. Absolutely spicy. Miami, Ohio still in the lead. Double rounds, like we had said. Just looking to punch their ticket to the next round where they will have to go up against Clark. So, I mean, either way, this match is very, very, very spicy for both teams. But the reward for the winning outcome, not much sweeter.
Well, let's see how the pistol round goes. Remember, it was Miami, Ohio that won the last pistol round. And again, utilizing that Reyna, currently top fragging CCR with 15 limbs and only 8 deaths, playing phenomenally. Let's see how they start things off as the second pistol round is underway. Otarovsky not wasting any time. Otarovsky going right into Hookah, but they're going to get blocked off in the process.
Okay. Wow, first draw. Bantanor managed to get something down. Cornell putting up a really, really good defense.
Spike planted.
Lin 4 managing to make it work. You know, these early rounds with the chamber, lending themselves pretty effectively because of the gun-based abilities.
Smoke's down.
Yeah, I mean, called the headhunter for a reason. That thing is going to click heads, and when it does, it's going to get limbs, no doubt about it. And now you can see Bantanor is at low health, but the rest not so much. And set now, Chamber, they're a little bit low. They get dealt with, and eventually Panarin will fall. The pistol round this time going to Cornell, and they are starting off the second half with the right foot forward.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and we gotta remember the last 2 rounds that went to Cornell, that did not go Cornell's way, were close to being their way. So it's not like, you know, they just got snuffed out there towards the end. It's just a matter of literal minute details. Cornell definitely feel better on this bind map than they did on previous.
Well, here we go, getting ready to head now into the anti-eco. Somewhat of a mixed bag of a buy. We got a Marshall, Guardian, Bulldog. You know, a lot of the bargain buys. And it is going to be a full push now from Otarovsky. Again, doesn't matter what gun they have. There will never be any chill from this player, as it will be Lin to find the limb with the Marshall and put it into Otarovsky. Now Bantanor struggling to stay alive as Lin will find another one thanks to the kill feed. And now Bantanor inside the lamps with the Bucky trying to get a little nutty. Not able to find one, but it will be a flawless victory for Cornell Esports as they have now brought the lead of Miami, Ohio to only 2.
Closer and closer every single time. Okay. It's literally within swinging distance, as the saying goes. See what they can get done with this. Little, I mean, this is that Walmart buy, like you said, you know, they got the Marshall, they got the Bulldog, they got the Guardian, you know, the Spectre in tow. 5 different rifles on each member. I love that so much. You can make them work. Full rifle and armor for Miami, just a little bit more in their pockets. What can they make work here?
Well, so far, a lot of blind firing and no Odin. Coming from Miami, Ohio, anyway. Normally, when you see the smoke blind fire, there's usually an Odin on the other side. Meanwhile, Fett able to get a clutch limb onto CCR. Now, inside of the smoke does get eliminated. Otarovsky able to find one, and Thunder Knight as well. And now it is the side of Miami, Ohio that is clicking heads. But Thunder Knight, they TP right into Lamp. Not to be confused with Lamps, the position on the map.
Right.
But the player Lamp.
Enemy remaining.
And that was a very crucial blind, as now we have a 2v1, and it will be Cable, the last player standing for Cornell.
We gotta win those 1v1s, bro. Oh no, Cable in a bad spot. Not enough time to defuse. Potentially though. I know he saw when he walked by it. Oh, but Matt gonna be the first one to get that frag, and yeah, Miami, Ohio stomping that momentum out from Cornell. The mixed buy not really working out too well for Cornell Esports, but Miami, Ohio definitely capitalizing on it and drawing themselves so much closer to that 2-0, to that next round, closer to the LAN as well.
Yeah, it was a win, but again, it was an expensive win for Miami, Ohio. They're going to have to rebuy 3 times, and you can already see they don't have a lot to work with there. They're going to have to try and make something happen because Cornell, they're going to have a full buy going into this next round, and I do believe I saw the chamber hovering over the operator, but we already know Banthanor Odin gets priority here at the MEC. They're set up in lamps, and it's going to be a full push onto the A site, and already Lin 4 able to put it into Autoroxy.
Okay, Panarin with the plants. His homie's covering him, but no. Lin 404, Banthanor doing what they can. That's going to knock down some doors. Almost a flawless round. They can figure this out. Yes, they will. All 5 members still standing. I mean, I don't know how Lin 4 standing with 12 HP, but my man, he lived through it. That will be Cornell grabbing it right back in their favor. This is such a back and forth map, Cap, and I am so happy about it.
Yeah, I'm honestly expecting this one to equalize. I mean, and at this point, you really got to go for a broken buy here, and that's why the timeout is coming. They need to call a timeout before they decide to invest. Good timeout there coming from Miami, Ohio, because we already saw a full shield and a Vandal being purchased immediately by Panarin, and the rest of the team, maybe even the coach, said, hang on, let's talk about this before we decide to invest. We need to know what the ROI is, return on investment. Is it going to pay off? But in the meantime, it's time for more of the Itsoka and Crow show, as we do have yet another timeout. So, Beautiful Crow, I gotta ask you, you know, we already got to talk about ISO a little bit here, and we got to talk about, you know, what possible replacements that will be. I gotta ask, you know, if we saw ISO on Bind, where do you think they would really pop off, on the offense or the defense?
Specifically in Bind, I do think they'd be a very thriving defense type, just because the way the barrier, like, I think, you know, with the way the barrier works, with the way, like, the bonus pop shot works, and their ultimate, you know, they can kind of field that, you know, the way that Yoru would play. It just, I don't know, it just feels so weird to say that, right?
All right, last question, real quick. You get pulled into a 1v1 with ISO. Do you take the dub in the 1v1?
I'm losing.
You lose the 1v1. All right.
I am losing.
He's thrown out of the gulag.
I hardly win Mordekaiser 1v1s. What makes you think I'm going to win an ISO?
All right, here we go. We're well on the way into the next round, and already you can see the trades are being made, and Lin gets dropped by a frenzy. This pistol round is going brazy for Miami, Ohio. And Crow, you know me, I never use the word brazy. You never hear me say that. I just refuse, but not today. That was insane. The pistol round from Miami, and now with Roxy. You know that Odin looked familiar, but it's not going to matter. They get gunned down. That was Banthanor's Odin. And I guess it only can be effective in the hands of Banthanor. Now it's a 2v2 retake. Cornell have got to get the retake if they want to avoid this thrifty round. The upset would be huge. The showstopper comes out. It will connect, but now it's a 1v1. Oh, this is dangerous. Playing around the boxes. Wall bangable. The thrifty round comes through. Panarin comes in clutch from Miami, Ohio, as they will now be in the double digits.
4 HP. What a whiff. Oh my god, Cable, I'm so sorry, baby, but that was just sad to see. In Miami, Ohio, though, they're pretty happy with it. That gives them a nice needed shot in the arm, monetary-wise. To go to this next round, potentially put it at 11. Cornell, try not to falter here at the last bit. This is their last attempt at being able to move on in this tournament. Remember, this is the elimination round.
It begins. Oh my, Autoroxy having a little bit too much fun here in mid. And look at this, Lin 4 already able to get a cheeky peek into Showers there with the tour de force. And of course, the Odin's still in play. Look how quickly Banthanor moved from the mid over to Showers and get called out. And now here comes the showstopper into the smoke, not able to connect. And Lin 4 still trying to operate there with that tour de force. The blind fire not going to work for Fett. But that tour de force still in play. 3v2 now into Showers. Lin 4 able to find 3.
Last player standing.
And now they are all that remains. They swapped right at the wrong time. Did they run out of tour de force ammo? That's the only thing I can imagine. Because other than that, I don't know why you switch. to the Headhunter in that scenario, but regardless, it is going to be a Miami, Ohio win, and they are that much closer to putting themselves on the match point.
One more. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Miami, Ohio definitely trying to push through. Prevent Cornell from making that third map redemption story. They don't want a reverse sweep here. They do not want a reverse. And it's just really Panarin in these last few rounds has been stepping up huge. I know CCR has been great all game long for sure. But both Panarin, both Matt have been really making a case the player of the game here. Miami, Ohio's camp at least. Cornell looking to double down, triple down even as the B site pushes hard and is strong like a rampaging rhino. What can they get done?
You're nothing.
Oh my God.
CCR can get a blind fire in, and now you got Matt from the top rope able to find one. And it is just a shooting gallery here on the B site coming from both sides. Meanwhile, CCR, they do get gunned down, and now Lind again, the last player surviving for Cornell, who does get dealt with in kind. Miami, Ohio will put themselves now onto match point.
Oh, almost done? Cool. Cool.
Okay. They 100% have not stopped the brakes since the past few rounds, and it's definitely showing here is they're now on series point, match point and series point here. Cornell doing all they can. Bethanor only what they specter here.
Yeah, and what's crazy about that... Yeah, what's crazy about that is that Cornell is down by 5 rounds, and yet Bethanor was the first to drop a 20 bomb.
Oh my God, right? Like... Oh, wow. Okay, Fett gonna take down CCR. That's huge. That is huge for Cornell. Bethanor actually gets out of Ratsley as well. Okay, but the fight on the site is on. Linford trying to get the elimination, but Bethanor scores it. Orbital Strike is great. My man is happy as a clam. Cornell with their last gasps, making it work the best they can. It's a 2v4.
I'm curious, did Bethanor just walk past an Odin and not pick it up? That is very curious, but look at this flank right here. Panarin able to find two! It's a 2-player swing. It is now a 1v2. Miami, Ohio.
No one's there!
They have the free plant on the A site, and now it's a 2v1 retake, and we have already seen what Panarin can do in these clutch situations. No one still picking up the Odin. They're walking right into fire here on A main.
They're gonna double swing on him. Oh my God. Cornell. Whew, if they had messed that up, that would have been a nightmare for them. But I think you're right. No one picking up the Odin. Biggest misplay of this entire round.
My goodness, what a play coming from Cornell. And again, this is just getting down to the wire here. Cornell still have to make up 4 rounds in order to send this one into OT, and the power of the purse definitely not with them. As you can see, they are coming up with somewhat of a mixed buy here. You got 1 half shield, but enough for Bethanor to get the Odin, still only with a half shield. But when they're dropping 22 limbs, you gotta let them operate.
Yep. Okay. Bethanor back on the Odin. This is, look, he says if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out my own way. 100%. Okay. Lamp in a very awkward spot right now, but he managed to get one. Can he dip out and survive? He's stunned up, he's blinded, he's slowed, but he makes it out. The paint shell's coming through the smoke though. They're unloading all the clips to try to take this man out. Unsuccessful in doing so. Cable gets back. Look at the behind though. Cable's great for 3. Perfect positioning, standing in the doorway. His best Tony Montana impression. Puts it all down to Panarin in a 1v5. I know he's done some crazy things before, but unfortunately, Cap, I don't think he has it in him to make a miracle out of this play.
Nah, winnable. I'm calling it. This is winnable.
Winnable? Okay.
It's winnable. It's winnable. We've seen aces happen, but just not right now. No ace. No longer winnable. It's going to be a flawless victory for Cornell. And I got to tell you, that was a big win because now the power of the purse starting to swing in Cornell's favor. I think this might be the last full buy that Miami can come out with before they're forced into an eco. And Cornell should be able to buy up here, but from what we saw, it looked like they only had pistols. Let's see what they decide they could go with. Coming into this next round, again, Banthanor should be able to come through with the Odin again. And there we go. We do see a full rifle buy. So again, this is going to be Miami's last chance before they're forced into an eco round. Oh no, this is the eco round.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be eco coming in for Miami's. Shout out to Hyper for that amazing moment. Oh wow, okay, Cornell. Perfect callback. Okay, guns are firing, guns are blazing. Banthanor holding down that corner, doing the best he can. Says, don't worry, guys, I got this. This is Lin 4 with the operator, not tour de force. Just a good old oppie op. I'll drop one down. They have to play perfect every single round. I said it back when it was only 10 on the board for Miami. Cornell has to play perfect every single round if they want to bring this to a game 3. Panarin wants to atone.
Spike down.
Losing out the past few rounds. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. Panarin drops. Spike is recovered very quickly by Miami, and they're going to make a hard rotate over to B. Cable is waiting for them.
Oh, look at Matt, so cheeky. And they should be able to get, again, they're going to be able to pick up Vandal's Heal. They were able to get these limbs, and now those are free weapons going their way. They can thrifty. They can end the game on a thrifty round if they clutch up, if they manage to get the job done. And look, this is going to be another gun, and it's going into the hands of the worst possible person on the pitch. You don't want CCR to have a Vandal. No, the spin comes out, but luckily, Banthanor able to clutch up with the Odin. Now it's a 1v3 scenario. That was looking dangerous for Cornell here, but now this should be an easy cleanup. And there it is. Cornell Esports still stay alive.
Staying alive on the skin of their teeth and the power of Banthanor's Odin, apparently so. Oh, wow.
And that is
absolutely insane. Oh, wow. 10 to 12 here. How much more can Cornell do? How much more can they hold on? They got to get 2 more to send us into this overtime. Miami just need 1.
Well, it's going to be a rifle round, full buy now coming from both sides, and this is the way that it needs to end. If it were to end, I don't know. Again, Cornell, they've been inching their way closer and closer to sending us into OT. Let's see if Miami, Ohio can end things here and now. Here we are now into round 23.
The hunt begins.
Okay, Empress is popped. It's going to be a nice blind. Lin 4 try to get something out, but will get away. Rendezvous. Just doing its job, what it needed to do. But where's the play? Where's the call? Here we go. CCR takes out Lin 4. What else can they get off? They drop down Cable. They drop down Fett. Before he gets one traded back. 2v4. It's all up to Banthanor. Can the man make it happen? He cannot. Odin in hand died by his side. Miami, Ohio. Say goodbye. Cornell Esports eliminated from the MEC playoffs. Miami, you got a date with Clark. Better wear a nice tie.
Yeah, because we've already seen Clark play, and let's just say they are pretty good. And you know what? Even in that match, we saw Miami, Ohio kind of play with their food a little bit. They have some of these cheeky rounds where they go in and they have just maybe a little bit too much fun. I highly recommend that you do not do that against Clark in your next match. But we're going to have an interview lined up with somebody, hopefully from this. Okay, we're going to have an interview with Captain Otteroxy, and that should be interesting. Again, that's going to be an interview from Miami, Ohio. So we're going to ask them how they're going to go about their next matchup against Clark right after this short break. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with that interview with Captain Otteroxy from Miami, Ohio, right here at the Midwest Esports Conference.
Let's see if Briarcliff can break this defensive on their eco.
I mean, look at this. They're going full send onto the C site. They're able to find Kong. And then thanks to the kill feed, Soup now finds 2. Looking for 3, finds 4. You gotta let them ace. Soup has earned it. My goodness, I've never seen the Bulldog used with such accuracy. Ace the Bulldog. Let's go, Soup. The first ace of the day. Clip it. That's it. That's it. Hang on, production.
That recon dart gonna spot out 2 of them. Gonna grab 1 frag with it. Nearly grabs the second. Leaves Sully in the 1 versus 2. Turns it into a 1 versus 1. Ring around the rosy. There's only 4 bullets, but Eclipse is only 4 HP. Oh, what a shock dart! Clutches the round. 4 bullets. No problem. He don't need 1.
That was a beautiful shock dart. And not only that,
Done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to overseed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here. And it is a mission in which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbellsville.
oh, now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We already...
What up, gentlemen?
Welcome back, everybody, to the MEC. We have an interview with the victorious Captain Ataraxia, Miami, Ohio. First off, congratulations. Very nice 2-0, well deserved, making it to the LAN. How are y'all feeling? How did y'all feel about that match? Because it got pretty close there in game number 2.
Yeah, we don't really practice bind that much. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that right before the LAN, but we got a lot of time between the LAN to practice. But we definitely feel kind of like somewhat unleveled when it was bind, but Ascent we were pretty confident. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Ascent, and I guess on bind as well, it doesn't matter what map you're on. You're just all gas, no breaks, all offense. Just, again, high risk, high reward plays. I love to see it. The mad dash is straight down the opposition's throat. I got to ask you, is that a play style specifically to you, or is that just the play style of Miami, Ohio?
So I figured this is probably the question. Normally we have another player named Phantom that's our in-game leader, and he wasn't here today, so we subbed in CCR, and I'm the next in-game leader after him, so I kind of just got like the feel of the team and realized we don't have any game plan, so we're just going to go all gas, no breaks, and see if it works. And luckily, it won out for us.
Oh, absolutely. It did work. And again, it was really impressive, again, to see your team really force their way onto site and take control and just really out-frag the opposition. But I got to ask you, your next matchup is going to be against Clark. Do you think that same type of play style is going to work against Clark, who just 3-0'd CSU? I'm sorry, 2-0'd. They got a sweep.
Oh, okay. I would say it's definitely up in the air. We are an adaptable type of team. If the opportunity presents itself for us to do that, hopefully they don't read it also. But we like to go all gas, no breaks, even if it doesn't look like that. We like to play passive, but when the opportunity shows itself, we will get right in there.
Love that so much. Okay, y'all made it to LAN. Y'all made it to the tops. It's very, very scary though. Like, y'all had to do it through the lower bracket. ONU, that match was crazy, like 100%. They're going up against Briarcliff for winners finals. Versus ONU and Briarcliff, are you looking for more the revenge angle, or are you looking to take down Briarcliff if you guys get to the grand finals?
No disrespect to any of the teams, but ONU seems to be the most solid team out of this organization that you guys are representing with all the teams. It definitely it's not more of a revenge, it's just to see how much we can put into that matchup. It's definitely looking to play ONU again. They are a pretty solid team. We come back from a 10-2 and we just totally messed up on Haven, but yeah.
Felt. Thank you very much for your time, and once again, congratulations on the 2-0. Congratulations to making it to the LAN weekend. And yeah, that'll be it for all of us right here. If you have any shout-outs last minute, anyone you want to, give props to, the floor is yours, my man.
I just shout out my team, Phantom, Matt, Panarin, Thunder Knight, yeah, and Adumti. That's about it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Well, hey, that'll be it for us here. Cap, how the matches today, the games today, pretty spicy,
Oh yeah, if anything, this could be an inclination of what to expect at LAN. The matches are getting better and better as we keep moving forward, and now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. All we have left, is the finals. And it's going to be pretty insane, whether it's the semis, the quarters, the uppers, the lowers, the grands. It's just all finals coming through. Again, we're gonna have, of course, the upper finals with ONU, BCU, and then the lower finals with Clark and Miami, and then we're gonna see how this will shape up. Again, that honestly, I think I'm more excited for the Clark Miami matchup than I am for ONU and BCU, just because again, Miami is that sleeper team, and Clark just came out of nowhere and just dominated CSU. So again, I think that one is going to be a tad bit closer, or just even a little bit more thrilling than ONU and BCU. Not to say that ONU and BCU isn't going to be exciting, but it's something about that Clark-Miami matchup. The fact that they're operating from the lowers, I think is going to be rather interesting.
I mean, we got to remember, Clark, I believe they were second in the regular season standings throughout all of this? Yeah, they played pretty crazy throughout the regular season. Like, I'm just automatically remembering the Soup plays when he goes crazy, and then watching Zerona, the Zerona flick. Hello, like I know we have that clip somewhere because that was absolutely insane, this man's ability. But yeah, like I'm excited for these matchups and the rest of it, and I 100% I will be watching. It's gonna be super dope to see. But yeah, that'll be all for us today. We made it through the regular season, baby. We made it through, and the next time we see y'all, it'll be at the LAN. It'll be the final few. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's the final four. We're down to the last four.
That we are. But with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for today. Again, this has been the regular season of Valorant at the Midwest Esports Conference. I've been Captain Etsoka, joined by Beautiful Crow, and that is going to wrap things up for us here today. So once again, we will be back again at LAN to show you the conclusion of all of this Valorant action right here at the Midwest Esports Conference.